game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I hope you all are having a great day. I hope your day is starting out beautiful. Shout out to the mod squad. Shout out to all of the members of the channel. I see y'all coming in the building. Please hit the like button for me because like I told you, they haven't been sending out the notifications. So definitely help us out by hitting the like button because it forces them to start sending notifications. Breeda G. See, I'm so used to Breeda G. B Glenn, you know, he got all formal on us. Oh, man, Breeda G in the building. What's up with you, brother? Love you, man. Love you so much, man. Oh, man. Chef Jew, love you, man. Hope all is well. Hope everything's going amazing for you and the fam, brother. California in the house. Vaughn 954, Andres. Listen, y'all, due to popular demand, we're going to do exactly what I told y'all we were going to do. Anthony Manzano in the building. We are going to have open panel. I want to hear from you all. Everybody I bring on this morning, I want to hear a optimistic take and a pessimistic take of the Miami Dolphins. I want to hear one of both. What are you excited about that you believe in, and what are you concerned about that you don't believe in? I want to see who can do both. There's too many people in our community that can only do one or another. I've been dubbed to only be pessimistic, but they just ignore the positive. I guess because, I talk about it so shortly or whatever. But that's what we're going to do this morning. And then we're going to open it up. I'm sure we're going to have some debates, get into some conversations. But yeah. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a moment. But again, please hit the like button on your way in the building. 55 in here, only 25 likes. I need everybody's contribution of punching that like button so that they can send the notifications out. Because like I said, they're just not sending them out. And I always know when they don't send them out because I have I have other accounts like, TD Sports Talk and all of that subscribe to TD Fans Talk. And I'm logged in and I still haven't even gotten this notification. And it's funny because about 30 minutes from now, I'll get the notification. So it's just YouTube. That's the one thing. Every summer, they do this to me like 4 times. They're going to do it now. It's going to last for maybe another 4 days. Then they're going to do it to me in like 3 weeks. Then they're going to do it to me a month and a half from now. But y'all can offset that by hitting the like button. Okay. And I can prove it to you. 59 people in here. If you get us to about 55 likes, we'll have 100 people in here. Because when you hit the like button, it's almost like if you hit the like button, they'll send a notification out to 5 people. It's kind of how it works. I also know that a lot of people are working and stuff, so the audience would be down around this time of the day. But at the same token, I put the ticket into YouTube and we'll see if they fix it. They just always do this. And then they tell me nothing's wrong, but all of a sudden it's fixed. So they try to silence some people, from the truth. They try to silence you from the truth. All right. Salute to Beyond the Details. I see you in here. What a crazy coincidence that it's my dad's and Tula's birthday. Wow, that's what's up, Lucas. Happy birthday to everybody. All right. All right, so let me go ahead, let me copy this, and I'm going to drop the link so that we can start to get some people backstage. But before we do, I'm going to have a few words that I want to, few things I want to talk about. Optimistically, if you live in the realm of optimism when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, the truth of the matter is they can't do anything wrong. If you live in the optimism of the Miami Dolphins, they can't do anything wrong. Every move is the right move, and if it doesn't work, there is a reason and a logical one, but it should have worked. That's what optimism does for you when it comes to the Miami Dolphins. Pessimism, or being pessimistic, recognizes that being optimistic is what you got for the last 25 years. Being optimistic about the Miami Dolphins is what we've done for the last 25 years. And you have to look at the result. It's tough, man. But we already got some people backstage. We're going to bring our first one in. The homie Lance in the building. What's up, Lance?
What's happening, TD?
I'm great, man. I see you on the road.
Yes, sir.
All right. Make sure you be safe, man.
Yeah, I'm waiting for 10 o'clock so I can go unload these pallets.
That's what's up, man. Hey, help me out, man. What are you optimistic about with this team right now?
See, I'm both with Tua.
Both.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
So share your optimism. Share your optimism with Tua.
In a way, I don't see him being a franchise quarterback.
Optimism.
Yeah,
what optimism do you have for him? What positive? What do you like? What positive belief do you have?
Because there are still times where I just look at him. I was like, damn, this kid can do it. It's that inconsistency that just drives me up a wall.
It's weird.
Wish he could run.
You're breaking up right now. You're breaking up right now.
Uh-oh. How's that?
It's a little scratchy.
Is that better?
A little better.
Yeah, I'm up here in Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cold.
What's the temperature like?
Cold.
Hey.
It's under 70, so it's cold.
Yeah. So where are you from?
Missouri. Well, I grew up in Sunrise.
Sunrise, Florida?
Sunrise. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. My aunt lives in Sunrise.
Yeah, that was back in the 70s.
So you brought up a good point, because it absolutely drives me crazy too. Sometimes you'll look at Tua, right, and you'll say, man, this kid has something. And you see a level of sharpness, right? Like, man, he can do this. But it's almost like there is no middle. You're either going to get that or you're going to get the worst version of him. And you don't have either way to say which way you should be leaning towards. And it sucks. It's like the most frustrating thing that you can deal with. But also, when you look at him and say, man, this kid is sharp and he can do it, the thing that bothers me is the context behind it. It's always in a favorable situation. It's never in the tough situation. Oh, he can do it against a great defense that didn't blow coverage and lead him wide open, but the play was there to be made. Like, Tua rarely makes the play that could be made, but it will be tough.
Right.
He rarely makes those plays. It's like he belongs, but just because he belongs, he's not a scrub. But the plays that are difficult that need to be made, they are rare. It's like every 20 opportunities, you might get 3 in those rare, tough cases.
I mean, he played out of his mind in that Ravens game. Which is great, but I don't see that happening again.
Yeah, but once again, even in the Ravens game, right? When I say the rare plays, I'm not talking about a blown coverage with Tyreek Hill on a go route.
Right.
You know, that's the easy stuff. Even great defenses blow coverage. You found the open guy, you hit him. I've never judged Tua off of the perfect situation or the blown coverage or anything like that. I grade Tua like when you go back to the Green Bay game, you got a receiver. Yeah, you got a receiver coming across the middle. And you got the defender right on his back hip, but you're just delivering such a great strike that it doesn't matter. It's so perfect that you can beat anybody that way. Those are the plays that I'm talking about that are few in between. Not the blown coverage, going across the middle, finding a window in the zone, and all of that stuff. That doesn't matter to me, because what matters to me is in the playoffs, you're going to have more of those tougher plays.
See, I just want a dual threat quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I mean, because that's where I think the NFL is going. You need, in order to make it to the Super Bowl, you need that dual threat.
Well, a lot of people talk about dual threat, but not many people talk about, tri-threat, a triple threat. Because when you talk about quarterbacks, you got great passers, you got the mobile quarterbacks, and if you have both, that's, dual. But then the one attribute to a quarterback that nobody talks about that is a huge factor is the brain. The processing.
Right.
And there are mobile quarterbacks who can't process. There are good passers who can't process. There are good passers and mobile that can't process. But the rarest ones, the greatest ones, can do all 3. But I agree with you. You at a minimum have to have 2 of them. So if Tua's not mobile, he has to do it with the processing in his brain, but that lacks. We don't talk about that enough.
I mean, if you see, I'm optimistic about Tua because even like last year, the big games that we have to win,
and
the 2, like Tennessee, he threw 3 interceptions?
Yes.
And fumbled once or twice in that game. I don't care about the weather. That goes for every quarterback.
It was an excuse. At the end of the day.
And then this year against the 49ers, he does it again without the fumbles. He threw 3 times. I mean, right, and it just got worse.
But let's be honest. Like, a lot of people, they made a lot about the Green Bay game. Now, I got mad about the Green Bay game, but believe it or not, I haven't talked negatively about the Green Bay game, not much at all. I actually always say that was his best game if you take away the 3 picks. The one thing that I haven't done is really talk negative about him throwing those 3 picks in the Green Bay game. And the reason why is because it's not new to me. He throws those balls all the time. It's just that they're dropped. People forget about that too. He throws those passes all the time. They're just dropped. Green Bay, good job. You caught all 3 of them. Almost every game he gives you 3. You just drop them. And this is pretty typical, but we want to make those don't count. Yeah, but didn't you have a Green Bay game? And it kills me. It's like, here's another thing that no one talks about. In some of his greatest games, he's made his most mistakes. Green Bay, obviously, right? To me, one of his greatest accuracy games, his most mistakes. What's another game this year that was his greatest game?
I mean, I guess you would have to throw that Ravens game in there.
And look at that first half. Absolutely bad.
Terrible.
2 picks.
Yeah.
2 picks.
You can't really pick, you could probably pick like maybe 3 games the whole year. Maybe.
Yeah. And it's like just like the Atlanta game the year before, where Tua scored 4 touchdowns, the defense sold. He threw 2 picks.
Yeah, we would have won if it wasn't for the picks. Didn't one of them get run in?
I don't remember. I just know that I remember.
At least they scored off of one of them.
Yeah, for sure. They scored a touchdown off of one, but they drove it. I'm bringing Estefan into this conversation with us, man.
I haven't seen Esther in a while.
Esther been hiding, man.
I've been working.
I hear you, bro. Go get that cash, man. Hey, Esteban, give me a optimistic take about the Miami Dolphins for this year coming up.
Oh, dang. That's put me on the spot. That's a really good question. Optimistic. This defense will officially be complete at all 3 levels. We'll have at least an elite player at every level. We've always been missing somebody at the linebacker spot, and I believe they're going to do that this offseason.
Is that good enough? Just having an elite player in every level, one elite player in every level?
Hey, man, I'm trying to be optimistic because when I look at this team, all I think about is we got this quarterback that most likely is going to miss games. He's going to get hurt, and I don't care about his QBR. If he was number 1 in every statistical category, when you miss 5 games, you got to start thinking about now you are a wild card team. And when I look at the wild card teams for next year, I believe it's going to be a coin flip between Cleveland, Cincy in the north. So one of those 2 teams is going to drop out and have to contend for wild card. And you got those 2 teams, then you got, I believe, San Diego out in AFC West. I believe KC will still win that division again. But I mean, those teams are still going to be competing at a high level and jockeying for position to maintain wild card spots. I don't know. Unless the only way I see us getting into the playoffs is we ride out, like, win our division. That's it. That's the only way I see us getting in. I still believe Tua is going to miss games.
There should be like 2 QBRs. The first 9 games and the last 9 games.
I've just accepted that our quarterback's going to go down. And then I'm hoping the development of Skyler has come around enough to where he could keep our head above water. I'm being realistic. I like some of the stuff he does, but it's just like Tua, his first 2 years was having trouble processing, and Tua still has trouble processing from time to time. So that's what you're dealing with a young guy, and he's just got to take a massive leap for us if Tua goes down.
That's very pessimistic. That's the moment.
It is, but it's being realistic.
Could you figure out Tua's QBR the last 9 games compared to his first
I probably could. It would take me doing a little bit of work though.
I bet there's a huge difference in all 3 years.
It's definitely night and day. It's definitely night and day.
And it's good to have, a decent one in the first 9 games. It's the last 9 games that you need to worry about. So that's when it comes to an end. And
it's
he
crazy.
chokes.
It's crazy to me. Here's what's the craziest thing to me. There are so many teams, trying to figure out their quarterback situation, but nobody has the conversations that we have. No one has these conversations that still has doubt. It's like every year is the same thing. And it's like they keep trying to move forward and act like, the improvement has been made, the proof is there, we got our guy or something. And they just keep moving forward blindly as if this is the narrative. And I'm not just talking about the Dolphins, but the media as well. It's just crazy to me. But Anthony, how are you?
Hey TD, it's been a while. How are you? Oh, hey TD, by the way, I haven't been on your platform in a while.
Mhm.
Like on the chat. I became an uncle in January at the beginning of the year and stuff like that.
Congrats, brother. Congrats. That's what's up, man. You focus on the fam,
Yeah, no, and TD, honestly, as I get older as a Dolphins fan, when I was younger, I was optimistic, but as I got older, I become bitter and pessimistic because I can't trust them to pull through. Is that a bad way to think, or am I being negative, or is that a realistic way to think?
Well, people need to understand you have to protect your anxiety. You have to protect your heart. You have to protect your health. And it is unhealthy being optimistic about the Dolphins because 25 years of being optimistic and every year getting slapped in the face can do something to you physically. It can do something to you physically. The grays pile up and everything. Y'all can't see it, but I got them. Trust me. They all up in here. They all up here. And
dude, you don't have any gray hair.
Oh, it don't look like it, but I promise you, they're starting to creep in, and I blame the Miami Dolphins. I promise you, their little specks are all up in there. I know it's so much black.
I have
hair
a question for all
see.
three of you guys. All three of you guys. I'm wondering, knowing that I Greer and what the way they phrase their words, it feels like they're going to be spending money on a good or decent or good or maybe an elite backup. Does that mean either they're lying to us about
what
how much faith they have in Tua's injuries that he might stay healthy?
They say we get a great backup every year and we fail.
No, but what I'm saying, like the top level backups, like a Tyler Heineke or like a guys who are fringe starters. That's what I'm asking, TD. Do you think if they side a good backup, like a top level backup, like a Heineke or a Gardner Minshew or something, does that mean they're lying to us about how they really feel about Tua's health concerns, about the concussions?
They're not lying to us. They do have concerns. Number one, they've actually said that this week. But let's back up for a second, Anthony. You make a great point, and I want to point something out to all the viewers, okay? They are talking about actually trying to bring in a better backup. But watch this. Teddy Bridgewater made almost $7 million this year as our backup. How much you think a better backup is going to cost?
Maybe a better backup, like a Tyler Heineke or Gardner Minshew level, maybe 10 to 11 million.
You're right. You're right. But it's insane. It's laughable. When you have to spend 8 figures on a backup quarterback, that means your starter ain't the guy.
And
this is why I'm saying this is
all these backups that people are saying is just as good as Tua, or just about.
Yeah, and no. Matter of fact, some of them have proven more, but you're still banking off of the fact that Tua has a higher upside because he's younger. Man, the Triple S podcast said I'm being more optimistic lately because it gets tiring being pessimistic. It's tiring when they fail in the season too. But I'm suckered for this year. LOL. I get it, man. It is tiring being pessimistic. And are you being pessimistic if you're literally have evidence that is negative?
No, that's just being real. That's just being real.
And TD, Esther, and Lance, I've said this multiple times. I do not care what we give up, and you can actually fix his contract up and stuff like that. Trade for Aaron Rodgers. Trade for freaking Aaron Rodgers. Eliminate these worries that you have with the quarterback by getting an elite guy like Aaron.
See,
I do not care.
My problem with getting Aaron Rodgers, and don't get me wrong, I would love to have him here, is in a couple years we're going to be back in the same boat.
Let's back up there. Let's back up for a second, right? All right, being in the same boat. Let me say this. First of all, I am not an advocate of going to get Aaron Rodgers. For me, it is the hardest no that you can get. Why is it a no? Because you got to give up probably 2 first-round picks. At least one of them was going to be in there. So there goes your future for 2024, 2025, because you're going to need to draft the quarterback who's going to replace him in 2 years. But you can't do that if you trade for him, because Aaron Rodgers is not the long-term answer. Any year, you could sign him on a 2-year deal. He could retire after 1. So Aaron ain't on my radar. And going after Aaron Rodgers, it's like, what is your backup plan? Who's your quarterback of the future? If they went and got Aaron Rodgers and got rid of Tua, then they really truly do believe in Skyler, because he's all they're gonna have, and he's all they're gonna be able to get.
The only person I want is Lamar.
That's the same that's the same plan that the Buccaneers went into with Tom Brady. If you go get Aaron Rodgers,
TD, sir,
you're going for that. You're going for that title.
What's good, Von
that's
Joe?
it. Then you got to do the hard rebuild. What's up, Von Joe?
TD, how are you going to sit there and say that, sir?
Say what?
About drafting for the future. Drafting your quarterback. How good have we been at drafting quarterbacks?
Well, here's the deal, Von Joe. I get it, but the optimism in me is like a broke clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, you're right. You're very right. You are.
I mean, most teams are pretty bad at drafting quarterbacks.
And if I'm the Miami, let me tell you something. If I'm the Miami Dolphins, at a minimum, I am positioning myself to get Caleb Williams next year.
Yep.
Even if you don't have to, that's fine. But I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can hate me for this all you want. But if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm trading Christian Wilkins this offseason. I'm getting a first-round pick and a little bit more, second or third, something like that. And I'm saving the money on Christian Wilkins and saying, Zach Zeeler, you're going to have a bigger role because we're not going to be in that 5 guys on the D-line base anymore anyway. And I am literally going to kick Ogba inside like Flores did. I'm going to have Zeeler next to him, and I'm going to have Jalen Phillips, and I'm going to have Bradley Chubb on the edge because we already got one extra lineman that ain't going to get a lot of playing time, if y'all recognize that.
TD, let me ask you a quick question.
And the reason why I'm doing that is because now I got a first-round pick. I got 2 first-round picks next year. I got a first-round pick the year after, and I can move heaven and earth to go get Caleb if I have to, especially when the kid wants to be a Dolphin. Now, if Tua works out in all this, we just got great assets that we can now build around Tua and keep the team cheap because his money's going to kick in.
TD, let me ask you a quick question, man.
See, I'm not that big on Caleb. I just want to get Lamar.
I don't trust the development. Like the last few quarterbacks out of that Lincoln Riley system have failed in the NFL. Like I don't really trust that system.
No, I don't care about the system. I care about the athlete. He has the arm, does he not?
Yes. So did Baker. So did Baker.
No, I'm not done.
Baker.
I'm not done. He has the mobility, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Baker ain't got his mobility. He has the escapability, right?
Kyler had that.
That's fine, but you see how I'm giving you traits for several quarterbacks in one. He has the Mahomes improvisation, doesn't he?
Yep.
He has the Josh Allen body to bang even if he take contact, right?
Yes.
So I don't care about what school you came from. I don't care about, in that system, I don't trust quarterbacks. He has the traits of 5 top quarterbacks in the NFL. He has all of those traits.
Mm-hmm.
So the right coach is going to tap into those traits. So you would rather have a guy with one trait, and that trait is questionable in his passing, than a guy who has 5 traits in Caleb?
Yeah. No, I would rather have Caleb, but what I'm saying, I look at the whole totality of the track record of that system developing quarterbacks into the NFL.
You can't.
But this is the ultimate athlete. This is the ultimate athlete.
Because it's not the same coaches.
Yeah, but Caleb Williams is a pipe dream. That's never going to happen because you got to scrap the whole team. You have to be the #1 overall pick. You have to be all in on the tank. You can't do what we did. You can't do what we did in 2019 when we went and got Tua. Because what did we do? We shot ourselves in the foot because I love Flo. But if you don't got a coach on board that's willing to tank, you're not going to get that. Quarterback is important. It's the building piece of your future.
But it's not about that though. That's the flip.
It has everything. It has. I'm sorry. There's no morals in it. But you have to lose every game, and everybody has to be on board with being the crappiest team. And you have to be
Esther, listen. If Esther, I want you to put yourself in Caleb Williams' shoes. If you were Caleb Williams and you were going to make $4 million this year off of NIL deals, and you've already made it known, I want to be a Dolphin. That's my #1 choice. Could you force your way to the Dolphins?
I.e. Manning.
Because you can go, because you also eligible to go back to college for even another year. You have another year.
I thought what you put your name in the half. I forgot what they call that for the draft. You can't go back.
Yeah. No. Yes, you can. You can undeclare for the draft and go back to school. You're a human. You're a grown person.
Can I make this point, TD?
And say, never mind, I'm gonna go back to school.
Are you sure? I thought what you declare, you can't go back.
Listen. When you declare, somebody's going to draft you, but you can say you want to go back to school. They just have your rights. They just own your rights.
I think the thing is, once you sign an agent, you can't go back to college.
How do y'all hear yourself?
I think that's what I hear y'all.
No. What's going to happen?
Have an agent
hold on. Okay. What's going to happen? I'm not allowed in the NFL ever again if I do that.
Once you get an agent, you can't go back.
But
you can't go back to college.
Hold on. You can't stop somebody from going back to college. The NCAA don't have those rules.
Yeah, the NCAA is a farce, dude. There are a bunch of politicians that are only lining their pockets, dude. They don't care. They don't
Since
really
the introduction of the NIL, you can have an agent in college.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
But I wanted to say real quick.
So the NIL changed everything. Okay.
And another thing, who cares about an agent? What if Lamar Jackson's in and say, I ain't getting no agent. I am my agent.
Exactly. Then he becomes Ray Allen. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to just say real quick to Estefan.
We got a player who literally came out and said, I want to be a Dolphin. That's my first choice.
I know that worries me about his decision making. I don't know about that.
So real quick, right? When it comes to Tua, right? We've seen Tua is now all of his superpowers out of Alabama has been narrowed down to his precision and anticipation, which is really one thing. So it would TD just named off 5 things, right, that elite quarterbacks have that a kid has without injury, right? So when Tua is now narrowed 3 years into his career, Tua is narrowed down to just his precision, right? Because everything else is based on injury. So he can't bang,
No,
which
he doesn't
Caleb.
have the arm
Hold
strength, which is major.
up. He can't bang, which Caleb has. He can't escape, which Caleb has, because we don't want Tua to get hurt. And he cannot improvise, which we see Tua can do a little bit, but then they catch up to him and sack him 9 yards behind, and then he hits his head. So the 5 things that Caleb has, Tua has been narrowed down since he's come out of college, just the precision. So what we're banking on is a guy with a bunch of things that are negatives that tied to him, and we're hoping on one superpower to show out, which is his precision. I think I'm going to save my picks when I trade Christian Wilkins, probably trade X. Like you said, ask Sealer to step up, and I'm going to plant myself in position for Caleb, because if I'm depending on one superpower to push out from Tua, that's not good. One thing can happen, and guess what? He hurts his head, and that's it.
It's not going to happen. He's not. The thing is, he's not going to. This is not going to happen. The reason why I say that is because Greer is trying to save his job this year, not next year, not the year after that. Yeah. And so
I'm hoping Tua doesn't get concussed in judo class.
See, but it's not because the Flores didn't want him, or GM didn't want him, or the owner didn't wanted Brady on a boat. It is not because of that at all. It's because Tua has shown the 5 things that Caleb shown he has. Tua's narrowed that down to just one thing.
About the whole Caleb Williams conversation is because Greer is not in the business of trying to save his job for next week or next year. He needs to save it now, this year.
But that's a negative for us, because he could sell us.
Oh, trust me, sir.
He can sell out on us.
Good sir, good sir, TD.
We're giving no credit to Stephen Ross here.
I have no. My whole notion of this year coming up, my expectations are low, sir. They're not going to get me like they did last year. No, sir, nope.
Well, look what Tannenbaum did to us.
Yeah, they can have to pleasantly surprise me.
It's not about next year; it's about now.
And TD, I know this is a pipe dream. What I have on as my tag on the bottom, if you read it closely,
I saw it, bro.
Yeah, no, and this
that would never happen. But.
No, because he actually said in an interview. He did an interview recently with a sports media member on the radio in LA. He went straight to that ownership and the GM and asked him to hire this freaking the guy who went to what is it called? Denver, Sean Payton, and they just completely ignored him and brought back Staley.
Wait,
Brandon
hold on. Are you talking about, dude? Listen, Tony, because you've been on this podium for a while. So let me help you get off this. The guy's not going nowhere. He's about to sign an extension that's going to keep him there for a long time.
He said he's not. No, he said he doesn't trust his franchise. After that,
when they put $296 million in front of him,
he's going to deny.
That trust is going to flood all the way back.
That trust is going bye.
Exactly. That trust is going to come all the way back.
Well, I don't think so, because certain players, it doesn't matter how much you offer them, because if they can get their way out of there, the next team is going to give them the same money.
So, TD, you think that young
anybody?
Anywhere?
No, I mean Herbert ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
He can get his money from 23 teams in the NFL.
Yeah. What makes you think he wants to come to Miami?
I don't. I never said that.
Herbert's about to be there for another good 5, maybe 4, maybe 5, 6 years, maybe. He ain't going nowhere, Tony.
But I wanted to just mention this.
Or maybe he goes up to the Pacific Northwest, where he played football. I
gotta say something, man. I gotta say something, CD. You know what? I don't think this Dolphins fan base talks about this enough. That first year with Flo, when we were supposedly had this team that was stripped down, I feel was the beginning of the end of a wrong rebuild. Because what I said earlier, we should have been all in on tanking and losing. And I love Flo. I don't care about morals or values or anything when it comes to this. We should have just tanked the whole season, because what did we do in the draft? Oh, we were like, we will still have we were banking on, we'll still have a top 5, we'll still have a top pick, and we'll just give a bunch of draft picks away, and we'll still get back to that number 1 spot and get Burrow. And what did we get? What did we? No, hold on, wait. No.
Esther, I gotta give you pushback on that because at the end of the day,
remember now,
I'm
I'm not talking about Tristan Wirfs here. That's 2-3 years ago, man.
No.
Esther, you saying Burrow, but you acted like Herbert wasn't right there for the taking.
No, I mean,
that could be getting developed day one. He could have came in and could have started working with him.
Yeah, but Herbert.
And regardless of flow, he's shown that he's injured. So it's not Flow's problem anymore.
You guys don't remember that draft, bro. I got a picture perfect memory of that draft.
Greer cannot draft offensive linemen. We know.
No. The scouting on Herbert going into the draft, not a lot of people would have picked him at that spot. The only thing that raised his stock that year was his Senior Bowl performance and his
which we had coaches that were there live to see it.
I remember.
Yeah. It was a Senior Bowl performance and his combine. That's what brought Herbert back up to the top 5. That's why he got drafted. But what I'm saying is, we wanted Burrow the whole time. We were going to give up picks. If you were going to do that to begin with, why didn't you just tank the whole season away? And if Flo wasn't on board, I'm sorry.
Why do you keep saying tank the season, though? That makes no sense what you're saying.
Hold on. How does that thing?
Because that was the only way you were going to keep saying
they wanted Burrow post.
Because that was the only way. That was the only way to get Burrow. You had to be the number 1 overall pick.
But hold on, Esther. We wanted Burrow after the season he had. Right?
I didn't want Burrow time.
Hey, who's got a paint gun or some darts?
No, bro.
No, so again, we wanted Burrow after the season he had. So that's why we tried to trade the pick away to Cincinnati. Cincinnati said, no, we're keeping this pick. This is our quarterback. But at the end of the day, we still had a better choice right there in front of us. A guy that was perfectly healthy. That could have started
what does that tell you? What does that tell you, Vaughn? In your opinion, what you just stated, that tells you. No. It tells you that our scouting department. No, you're not listening. It's telling you that our scouting department doesn't have an eye for talent, because if you saw what Burrow was doing, bro, you could go back to week 2 and you could tell that guy had it. You could go. You could just.
Just seeing what Herbert was doing in the combine.
You should have knew exactly, Lance. The combine, you should have knew.
Yeah, but
you go 6 inches into the
week 2.
Hold on.
Go get
it. You never pick the first. You never pick your first player.
You could see it. You could see it. I'm telling you, what we won. How many games did we win that year? 4 or 5? I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? But 4 or 5 games into that year, we have the opportunity to not win games. We're already probably, I don't know, almost 10 games into the season and still jockeying for that spot in the draft, and we keep winning games. Bro, you should have known, because there was one point where we could have. We had the number 1 overall pick, I think, and we won the next week or something like that. And after that, we lost it for the rest of that draft year.
I cannot agree with you with the tanking thing, because at the end of the day, you have those teams that like to tank and try to get themselves in position. It's hard for those teams to get back that losing culture out of their locker room. Those teams stay losers.
Well, this is the way I say it. If you can potentially get you a guy that's going to be eventually a franchise guy, which we all know that you give up multiple draft picks for that guy. If you see that guy in the draft, why the hell are you going to win 4 or 5 games? Nobody cares about moral victories. I'm a Dolphin fan, but I will take a year. I will take an entire year. If that guy's
you have a whole bunch of people on that team that was playing, and you coach those guys to win. And if they win, they win. You don't sit there and coach those guys to sit there and say, "Hey, man, we're gonna tank out."
No, but you can do
some ways. In some ways, I kind of wished that Mike McDaniels was our head coach at that time, because he would have done it.
You act like
yes, man.
You act like there's no things that you can do that you, bro. There are things you can do. Bro, there are things you can do to continue to lose games. Like run the ball consistently, stay in prevent, Don't throw the ball. Throw it. Put the worst quarterback in, which we did it.
Nah, man. You still got to develop other talent on the team. You're not gonna sit there and replace all 52 players just to draft one guy. Come on.
First
man.
of all, I think
you can do that. You can do that in practice. You can do that in practice. You don't got to do that in game day, bro.
I think we're being very rude.
Cincinnati tanked for Burrows.
I think we're being very rude
right
now. It is Tua's birthday, and he graced us with his presence on the show. So, Cameron 954.
TD,
My eyes are hurting just looking at him.
I appreciate that, TD. I want to say kumbaya.
Why does he have X's in his eyes?
Man, who got darts on them, bro? Or a paint gun?
That was after the Bengals game. I had to do that to myself.
OMG, Cam.
But listen, I want to share a little.
You're killing me, brother.
Share a little coconut cake with all my friends out here today, wishing me a happy birthday. I know I feel the love, and so I just want to say good morning, kumbaya to all my friends.
Hey, why didn't we get an invite to the party, Tua? How come we don't get to go and hang out with you?
Hey, Tua, make sure
you had to pass the velvet rope, over there at Perform. So,
Tua. Hey, why don't you load up on steroids next year? Maybe you'll make it through the season.
Oh my gosh.
What's up, TD, man? Good morning.
I'm good, brother. Good morning, panel. I love Dolphins debate.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Make money.
Hey, man, I just want to drop by. Steven ain't feeling too good today, so I had to get up here and get my. Yeah, he's fighting that flu. He's on the phone with the doctors. He says so. This is my regular time with him, so I had a little free time.
It happens when the weather changes. You know that. That's his flip flopping on Tua.
I told him exactly that.
No,
but I had a real question for you, TD, and I was thinking about this listening to the guys up here, man. How long do you think Vic Fangio's here, realistically? Is he a one and done guy? Is this an all or nothing season?
Depends on his
2 years.
Depends on his success
or the team's success.
You don't pay that coach that amount of money just to stay 1 year.
Just his success.
Listen, and here I was thinking about this and being realistic, and we can only control what we can control here, and that's our opinions. But realistically, Tua is here for this season. He's on his last year, and if they don't win it this year, I can see this team just, getting blown up, starting from, scratch again, just like we've always been doing.
When you say win it, Cam, what do you mean by that?
Deep playoff run, and nothing short of that, Von Joe.
So if you're talking about we're going to dismantle everybody after this season if we don't make better than last season,
only had
so what's the point of
this year.
extending people then? Why are we going to extend players if we're going to dismantle it the next year? That's the problem that we're in right now.
This year.
I get that, but that's the Cam's point. We're in a slippery slope. Either we win or we break it up again, or if we win, we pay people. That's how close it is right now. Like
nobody's extended, or are they going to extend Christian Wilkins? To your point, are they going to extend Zach Seiler, who wants an extension? Are they going to extend Tua? Nothing has been talked about on these fronts. I can see this team letting them play this year out on the final year of the rookie contract and, make it or break it.
What do you mean? The boy Chris Greer said, I have no problem extending Tua. Okay.
You know what I think, Chris Greer? You know why I think he said that? I think he's playing the trade market. Because if you go out and say you're not going to extend him, Tua's not worth anything.
See, my heart, my soul wants to believe that. Like,
I'm trying to be optimistic, man. I'm trying to be optimistic.
What if Chris Greer just getting that trade value up and he gonna do right by us and go get a real quarterback?
And you gotta have somebody who wants these players to trade for. You gotta have a team that's gonna want these players.
So TD, guys, we have in the fan base, we have a thing where we say the Jets are going to jet. People keep forgetting the Dolphins will Dolphin also. Miami Dolphins will do Miami Dolphin things. So I'll say it last night. I'll say it last night. I would not be surprised if Tua get extended. Not one bit.
I told y'all he is getting extended.
Well, I mean, that's the guaranteed money, though. You can extend it. How much guaranteed money?
Chris Greer think he's slick. He gonna try to offer a little 5-year, $100 million contract and think he getting by just by finessing a deal. But
doing the Tannehill 2.0.
Yeah, it
And
still
so-
makes us
He
stuck.
worse than Tannehill.
TD, stop right there. If you were a Tua, would you take that deal? $25 million a year?
That's the interesting part.
Hell no.
No,
Yes, you would.
no, you got to be
Why you wouldn't?
careful. This is a great conversation. You got to be careful because
Might be a 3 year.
Tua would
If it's
be
a different
begging
team,
his.
they'll overpay.
Okay, let me ask y'all this: if Tua flakes out this year, what is he gonna be worth on the open market?
Backup money at the very best.
Somebody
Which
bringing
is what
him
he is.
in, somebody who doesn't have a quarterback, who's gonna be saving for the 2025 draft, brings him in to see what he can do, if he can do something as a starter with a
The
bad
Texans-
team probably around him.
The Texans didn't even want
He
him.
gets a 1 year, $15 million a year, or a 2 year, $35 million deal with 20 guaranteed.
At most, TD, at most.
So
Because at the
he
end of the
would
day,
be-
you want to ask, will Tua bet on himself? And I'm not talking about his performance was. I'm talking about will Tua bet on his health.
Exactly. Would you bet on yourself with your not just play? You don't only have to worry about your play, but you got to worry about your injury history. One injury and you're screwed betting on yourself. So that's if I'm Chris Greer, I get it if you're trying to say I'll give you a 5 year
TD,
100 million,
don't you think
60
Tua's
million
thinking
guaranteed.
about that? Don't you think Tua's thinking about that? What you just mentioned about knowing that he doesn't want to take that
Yeah, but
risk.
where-
Why do you
where
think
is
he just
Tua's
talked to his
leverage?
Look at
agent?
here, El Capitan.
Of
That's
course
right.
Tua's
of
going to be
course
one of
he's-
those great backup quarterbacks that we
Of
want.
course, Tua's thinking about it, but the Dolphin fans need to realize, although that would be a steal, it still sticks us with him just in case he still doesn't work out.
Well, TD, remember the steal we had for Ryan Tannehill? We were paying dead money on that man for 2 years after we got rid of him.
But
Yeah,
the
that was
problem
a
here,
steal.
Gave a contract like
Tua,
that.
Tua
We should've
has
kept
zero
Tannehill.
leverage in this conversation. His only leverage is his performance that is anticipated this coming season.
But his agent, Cameron, his agent is like, no, we will at least meet us at 35 a year. See, his agent's gonna say, all right, if he balls out, we're not giving you discounts.
The
we want
Dolphins have the
50.
leverage. Why do you think you got a
No,
new
they don't.
agent?
What are you talking about? No, he
And
doesn't.
The Dolphins
I
have the
agree with
leverage.
you,
Why do you
Jack,
think
like,
he got a
no,
new
they don't.
agent?
Tua
If he
does
got
not
a new
have
agent,
leverage.
that's because the Dolphins are not playing ball, bro.
Hold on, real quick. All of this conversation and everything we're saying, no one's right or wrong in it. This is why the 5th-year option, whether they're trading him, want to trade him, want to potentially extend him, this is why that 5th-year option will be picked up. Because if they play it close to the vest, they kind of pigeonhole themselves.
But bro, El Capitan, this is the debacle.
I know.
I honestly don't have a problem picking up the 5th-year option and saying we're stuck with him for 2 years. The issue I have I do have a problem with it, but we put ourselves in a situation where we got to take the chance now.
Well,
You know,
TD,
but here's the issue.
They kind of have to, though.
El Capitan, here's my issue. I don't think we're just going to only get a 5th-year option. I think that they're really thinking extension.
I would Daniel Jones it, bro.
I don't even understand. That doesn't even make sense to extend.
I would Daniel Jones
if
it.
they-
So you
if
prove
they-
it to me, then you get paid.
If they really extend him and don't like they give him a 4-year extension, say this year, if he goes out with injury and misses 4 or more weeks, it's
So on the other hand, El
punches,
Capitan,
bro.
on the other hand,
What
if he plays 16, 17 games and leads this team to two playoff wins or more? What happens then?
Cameron, see now that's well then that's a great business move. But Cameron, I can't.
That's like
bank on
Joe
that when this
Flacco.
man
You have
hasn't
to
played
extend
a full NFL season
Yeah, but
yet.
we just trying to get him to play a full season to begin with.
I get it.
Yeah,
But
give me a
what if
full
he does
season,
play a
then we'll
full
talk
season?
extensions.
That's why you
Well,
Daniel
Cameron,
Jones
Cameron,
it.
the games he missed
Cameron, you
because
know
of
how that
injury,
sounds
he
to
also
me?
lost us like 4 games.
Cameron, you know how that sounds to me? That's the same to me with Tua. That's the same as saying sign him on a 5-year extension because what if in the 5th year we go to the AFC Championship? You see
I
what
get
mean?
it. I get it, bro. Like, but that's the conundrum that the Dolphins are in right now, right?
It is the conundrum, bro, and that's
TD, quick question.
And he hasn't proved that he can win at the
Quick
in
question,
the
quick
last
question,
9
y'all.
games.
This
He
is what
hasn't proved
happens
How
when
does
you
the
hit your
franchise tag
wagon.
work?
This is what
against
happens when you
the
hit
cap?
your wagon to a first
24,
round pick in the
24
top
million.
10. That's a
Well,
quarterback.
franchise
You
tag
put
or
yourself in a
the
problem.
year?
No, like if we franchise tag Tua in the future, it's only a 24 million hit.
No,
This
no,
year it's
no,
24
no,
million.
no, no.
No, that's
No,
like
no.
48 million.
The fifth year is 24.
He's not eligible for franchise.
Right now, if you were getting tagged this year, if I'm not mistaken, is 36.
I think it's like
Next year you're getting into the
43.
No, next year you're getting into the 40s. I think the tag for
no, it's in the 40s now because Lamar's looking into the 40s.
TD. I think it's like 43 million this year if you're going to tag a quarterback. I think
really
because I was looking at when they were talking about potentially tagging Daniel Jones.
Lamar.
That's why they're planning on signing him to a contract because the tag is like half the money they want to give him anyhow.
No, I know what the tag is. I'm saying, does that count 100% against your cap?
According to Alan Poupart from Sports Illustrated, he is
okay.
not eligible for the franchise tag yet.
No.
We know that.
Next year.
No, I know that. I'm not
talking
about
next year.
The franchise
next
tag
year.
this year, I'm looking it up right now. The franchise tag this year is $32.42 million for a quarterback. Trust me, what it is you got to take.
More affordable than I thought.
No, what y'all not realizing is you got to take the cap hit of the top three quarterbacks. I know that some of them make 50, 40 a year, but this year they may not. You see how they, structure the contracts? But next year you will definitely be in the 40s because you got like 5 quarterbacks is going to be up there.
Yep.
Right now it's saying
like the
2023 franchise and transition tender is $32,416,000. That's for the franchise tag, and the transition tender is $29,500,000. For linebackers is $21 million. Wide receivers is $19.7 million. Defensive ends $19.7. So that's what the tag is, 32.42. That's the estimated.
CBS Sports just put out a story about Chris Greer saying that, quote unquote, we're not rushed to make an offer.
I was just about to say that. What is the rush? We got another year. Like, if we really want to win, we'll pay other guys to come here, 5 stout guys, as opposed to overpaying one player. If we're in this window.
Right. You mentioned the fifth. You say you have no problem with the 5th year, right?
Well, I do, but now look at the situation because here's the deal. If you don't pick up the 5th year option and he balls out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a $45 million per year raw money on your hands. No spreading it out because you didn't have the extra year to maneuver it and all of that stuff. You just go from instantly 24. You go from basically 9 million this year straight to 40 plus, right? But then we all got to have a conversation, the odds of him balling out this year. See, there's different levels to this. Just because you got all the talent around you that'll make you look better, you have to really evaluate his game and ask yourself, did he truly ball out? And I ain't talking about this year. You have to go off of how much did he carry the team versus the team helping carry. And that's the issue. Having all this talent around you can blind someone. It can blind you in what you think you have. Because once you get that $40 million, you ain't got all that around you. And if you go back to being what you were before, you don't have nobody to blame but yourself believing that mess because you didn't evaluate it correctly. So it's a tough situation.
Well,
but
TD,
the worst case scenario for me is pick up the 5th year option. That's the worst case scenario.
Well, let me ask you this, TD.
Anything beyond
hold on.
Is insane.
Hold on, TD. This is why, Cam. This is why I actually asked that question. It's because if we go into the 5th year and we already know he's not the guy, but we already picked up the 5th year, the rebuild has failed.
Yeah, it's a wrap. You got to go in the 5th year with him.
At that point,
basically, it's just a retry. You're gonna try it again with him.
So at that point, we might as well just get prepared to start scrapping things.
This is the frustrating thing about this Tua situation. That's why when you got a guy that you still don't know after 3 years, I personally believe you got to move on right then and there. Like right now, I would be moving on from Tua, but they're not. Here's the frustrating part about it. It's the notion of a broke clock is right twice a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at Geno Smith. Would you want Geno Smith as your franchise quarterback right now?
Nope.
But
this reminds me of the Marcus Mariota situation.
Yeah. Or Baker Mayfield. Would you want Geno Smith as your franchise quarterback right now?
No.
No, we know what he is.
Did Geno Smith do more consistently than Tua this year?
He played.
I would say yes.
I would say it's close.
Consistently. That's the key word here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Did Geno Smith get hurt?
No.
Nope.
So we're not going to sit here and be skewed off of Geno Smith's one decent year, are we? But somehow we can sit here and be skewed off of Tua's 3 games.
Yeah, but hold on, TD, and I'm not defending Tua here, but Geno had some good years with the Jets early in his career. He's an 11-year veteran.
Yeah, bro, even his good years with the Jets, you didn't believe he was a Super Bowl. He was capable of helping them win the Super Bowl. A good year ain't the end of the story. You can have a good year. I mean, plenty bums have had good years, bro.
100%. But the position the Dolphins are in are making a decision whether to extend him and see if he, if to your point, like if you're using your analogy here, the Buffalo Bills would have gotten rid of Josh Allen after year 3 because he was trash up until then.
Yeah, but Cameron, Josh Allen at least was having flashes and stuff like that. Like,
you can't say Tua didn't have a flash. I mean, you could
have. There wasn't injury concerns.
Hold on. Here's the difference.
There wasn't injury concerns.
Listen, again, I'm not defending Tua. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yes, you are, Cam. Yes, you are.
No, Cam. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Here's the issue, Cam. People like Josh Allen and Daniel Jones, you take that chance because of their athletic ability.
Thank you. Untapped.
Yeah, they have those intangibles.
What untapped potential does Tua have? What untapped potential does Tua have?
Untapped, none.
Yes. Thank you. Daniel Jones and that bum in Buffalo, Josh Allen, they both had untapped potential. They had the physical attributes. They had the intangibles. They had those traits that you wanted to tap into.
We're gambling on Tua's accessibility, whether he can play 16.
No, we're gambling. No, this ain't about injury. I don't even talk about injury with Tua. This is straight up play. We're gambling on Chris Greer's pride.
Pretty much.
So again, it takes you back to the conundrum that the Dolphins are in, that Chris Greer is in. They extend him by May 1st. It's not only 2023, but through the 2024 season.
Thank you.
So that gives you
that basically says you're gonna bank on Tua Tagovailoa to handle this already loaded team.
Let me
You're
ask
gonna
you this.
bank on him. You're not going to go get a great quarterback to go with Armstead, Waddle, Tyreek, Chubb, Phillips, all of these guys. You're not going to go get a great quarterback. You're going to bank on Tua, because the problem I have with this is we have no way out, Cameron, if they make one of those moves.
Does it preclude you from drafting Caleb Williams or making a move to get up the draft?
The problem is you're not going to be able to get him unless you make a move this offseason to acquire the capital. Mm-hmm. You can't wait the next season to do that, because Christian Wilkins is going to already have his deal. Nobody going to want to pick up your deal.
So you trade Christian Wilkins for the 2024 first-round draft pick for a team that you forecast is going to be up in the top, right?
A first and a second.
Regardless, you put yourself in position to make that.
We're not getting that kid.
Yeah, because I personally believe if we go to a 4-man front, which we're likely to do, I personally believe that Chubb, Agba moved right back inside like Flores had him next to Zeeler, and Jalen Phillips should be good enough with a great defensive coordinator. See, sometimes you gotta give to get, and with a great defensive coordinator, you don't need 5 guys that all 5 of them should be on the field, but you only got 4 at a time. You got Zach. See, this is the thing. People rave about Christian Wilkins, which they should. But they keep sleeping on the fact that Zach Zeeler has been just as successful in the last 2 years as him.
100%. I mean, the reason Wilkins is successful is because of Siler and lesser degree Raekwon Davis.
And we ran a 5-man front, which is a lot of times, I know it was 3-4, but we had 5 on the line. Y'all know that.
And just 2 linebackers.
And that allowed offensive linemen, it made it harder for O-lines, and it gave you a lot more one-on-ones. And not only did it give you one-on-ones, even if you back the guy out, you got an advantage because at least you had to account for him before he backed out. So you didn't get as many double teams. We schematically got pressure. For the last 3 years, this team has schematically got pressure. We have never gotten organic pressure. And under Fangio, it is strictly organic pressure. He don't even like the blitz. It is strictly organic pressure with Fangio. He's sending 4, sometimes 3.
And we have the studs to do that.
Yes, we do. But you got to let those guys. I just don't see why it's necessary to keep all 5. Zeeler is going to cost less than Christian, but he gives just as good a production.
How much playing time does Zeeler get?
Huh?
How much playing time does Zeeler get?
He has the second most snaps on the defensive line.
Well, he gets enough. I'm with TD. I've been saying it.
I'm 100%
off of Christian Wilkins. We should be moving on Christian Wilkins. Let's go get the bag for him. Because again, if you look at it, Bradley Chubb already got the bag. He's over $100 million. You're eventually going to have to start looking into Jalen Phillips,
We're going to pay Christian Wilkins $12 to $16 million a year? No way, bro.
It's too much
no
money.
way.
Hold on. Back up. You done lost your mind. You think Christian Wilkins going to get $12 million? Jerome Baker make more than that.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's way
this
more
man
than that.
might be hitting the 20s, bro.
Yeah, it could be. Anywhere from 16 to 20 million, I can see, for sure. You got to move on, man. You can't pay everybody. And again, the guy that's on this roster right now that can get you more assets than anybody else is one Christian Wilkins. That's just a fact. So,
all I'm saying, man,
you know?
It's a window year. You know it's a window year. You got guys that claim to want to come here because they want to win, but you want to overpay on a guy who's not even in a rush to get paid now because it's just, if you look at the numbers right now, he doesn't have to get paid now, but, having a new agent represent you speeds up the process, I guess. But if you really want to win, I would get 5 guys as opposed to overpaying for one that doesn't last the whole season.
And I just don't understand where this conversation went from 2 weeks ago. Everybody was wondering if the Dolphins were going to pick up the 5th-year option to now we're talking contract
extension talk. That's nuts.
Where did that come from?
It's crazy, bro.
So let me ask you, TD, and this is something interesting and way out of left field because I don't think it's possible. But you talk about identifying players on this roster that can get back draft capital. Let me throw this out there and see what y'all think. Tyreek Hill's contract isn't fully guaranteed until the 19th of March of this year.
Too late.
You don't think he'd be eligible for a trade?
No, they're not trading Tyreek Hill. He's the only thing that makes Tua.
Listen, I'm just saying he's the only other person probably that's worth
on top of it. And on top of it, he got enough guarantees to carry him anyway for the next year.
So he already got paid.
Yeah, but here, no. So if I'm not mistaken, he got like 52 million guaranteed with 72 million total guarantees. That 72 million kick in March, but that 50 is still sitting there. And if you look at what his cap hit was last year, they still owe him a lot of money. They can't move off of him right now, or it's massive dead cap just from the 52 million.
Yeah, it says like 46 dead cap this year.
You see what I'm so you're going to play him this year.
But it's not fully guaranteed until the 19th.
Yeah, but the problem is you gave him a signing bonus. If you trade him, you got to eat all of it. You're not trading money.
It doesn't hit the cap, the signing bonus. That's something separate.
Bonuses hit. Why do people keep saying that bonuses are a part of the cap as well?
But the cap only counts like your average yearly salary for the roster.
Yeah, no. So All of it is accounted for. It's just that the bonus is allowed to be spread out as dead cap and voidable years. Right. So say you do a 5-year deal, but you only keep them for 3. Those last 2 years, you can spread the bonus money out as dead cap, but it still counts.
They have the ability to get rid of that by the 19th and not spread it out, is my point. And listen, I don't think Tyreek's going to get traded or nothing like that. I'm just throwing it out there because you talk about who's worth, a first-round draft pick on this roster. There's only one other person.
Who's got more value to you, Cameron? Wilkins or Tyreek?
He's not worth it. He's not worth he's not worth the trade because you're still going to eat too much. And on top of it, you still want to give Tua the opportunity to succeed with this team. So you got to go on the defensive side of the ball and affect that to get draft capital, not the offense. You still got to give Tua his fair chance.
But I also think that bringing in Fangio and all of the resources this team has, whatever limited resources they have, including draft, is going to go towards the defensive side of the ball this year.
Yeah, I get that. But once again, if you brought in Vic Fangio and he's supposed to be the guy that we all hope he is, then you should be able to forfeit some things.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of turnover.
He should be able to have a successful defensive line without Christian Wilkins.
Yeah, I heard. I
do not disagree with you.
He was going to go into the draft and potentially select the early running back, which is something he doesn't usually do. I remember yesterday when they were talking at the combine. I remember him saying that if Mike liked the running back early in the draft, that he would consider selecting one because that's something he doesn't normally do.
Hey, is that kid Carter slip into the second round?
Hell no. He's not even getting out the top 10.
I'm sorry.
Jalen? Hell no.
Me personally, I just don't believe in I don't believe in first and second round running backs. I just don't. I'm a firm believer in the running back goes as that O-line goes. Now you got freak of natures like Derrick Henry, who still goes as the O-line goes. It's just about if you let him get to the second level, then he kicks in. This is what I believe about running backs.
That's a fact.
Your O-line has to allow them to get to the second level, then skill comes into place. Now, you got some running backs like Frank Gore was, who was so skilled and patient on the first level that he creates his own second level, but that's a rare skill. But most of these quote-unquote great running backs, it's what they do at the second level, not the first level. But you got to have an O-line to even allow them to get to the next level.
We still need a tight end to anchor that run blocking scheme because we
that
don't
too.
have one.
I mean,
and if they believe Hunter Long can do that, then we're gonna have another piss poor year running the football again.
I think they're drafting a tight end or two.
Another failure. If you got to draft a tight end or two, Greer failed on Hunter Long.
100%.
And what round was Hunter Long in?
Wasn't he like a fourth round?
I think it was a third. It was a third.
I thought we traded or something.
I thought. Yeah, I don't think he was the third.
Him, or we traded up to get Eichenberg.
He was a third.
I thought he was
a third.
Same round as Gesicki.
Did we move up in the third to get him?
He was right after Gesicki. That's what he was. He was right after Gesicki.
I have a belief that you have to win the draft in the third and fourth round.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the players that if you can turn them into players that you look at and you're like, they should have been a first round pick because of how you develop them. But if you're not doing that, man, that's an issue.
Sure, I never did that.
And that's the Achilles heel of this team. And I feel Mike McDaniel's biggest Achilles heel is his inability to develop players 12 through 35.
TD, I've been saying that we don't criticize the scouting department enough because a lot of people, I believe, in my opinion, that we give Greer too much credit for guys like Waddle and Phillips and Javon Holland, because in my opinion, those guys, if you just went on scouting reports, those were the obvious picks. And you have to know absolutely nothing about football that year to not know that Jalen Phillips had the biggest bag of tools at the DN position. The only knock on him was that he had those concussions. So, in my opinion, you start going into the guys they drafted later rounds, like the Nick Needhams everybody said that Flo and them were scouting him.
He
Warrior
wasn't
was.
drafted.
Even Cater Cole. All I'm saying is, whenever you got to go back into the draft and address positions that you tried to address for prior years in the same regime, those are failures. Just like Austin Jackson, we drafted him. He was still struggling. They go get Eichenberg, and we traded draft capital to get this guy, to get Eichenberg. But when I looked at his tape, I cut it off soon because I was like, we ain't gonna take this kid. For one, he plays on the left side. Why are we going to get a left side when we already got a left side? What I thought was that they were going to continue with Austin Jackson, but they didn't. So they go get Eichenberg and try to play him on the right side. The guy is not athletic and he's horrible out in space. And all people kept throwing out there was, well, he didn't give up no sacks. Well, if you looked at how Notre Dame played, I mean, they played in, it's not like they had the best competition, is all I'm saying. But Eichenberg was the solution. But the fact that they went and got him tells me that they are missing. And it's the same thing that you brought up. I brought up with.
Hey, TD, bro, I gotta go.
There's multiple positions. There's multiple positions that you can do that at.
All right, hey, you guys. Hey, man, no matter what, it's still fins up.
All right,
But I believe later, Fonjo. But I believe we're failing in the draft. I believe our scouting department is lazy. Because how can you tell me we've gone this long without an inside linebacker?
So
I don't think they're lazy. I just think they're not good.
They're not good. They have a I don't know. I mean, look at what was the year that Michael Parsons got selected. There was a run on linebackers. It was like, we need one, and you're not selecting one. Which, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, to their credit, they believed in Landon Roberts. But I mean, we don't.
We took,
not for the future.
Didn't we take Waddle the year Parsons got drafted?
Yeah, it was but Parsons went, Zavin Collins went, Nick Bolton went like in the second round. You saw what he did for Kansas City. That's when the run went.
That's the same year we got Javon. So I don't think they were looking at it. I think
the 2020 draft set us back.
I think they were taking what was best available then at that time.
Yeah, but did you really have to do that? You gave away picks.
Yeah, we needed a Javon over.
No. But everybody forgets about how much we traded with Philly. Y'all don't remember that?
We didn't trade much. We just swapped picks.
Yeah.
We just swapped.
We gave away a pick. We gave away a pick.
We gained a pick to give away a pick. If that's what you're talking about, yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Did we give up like a third round pick or something? What did we give up?
We gained an extra first round pick and we gave it right back up just to move back up. It was like a later first round pick, like in the 20s, I believe.
But it involved San Fran and Philly, and from what I believe, didn't we lose out on a pick somehow? When you look at it overall,
we lost out on a pick because of the Stephen Ross shit. Stephen Ross tampering thing.
No, he's talking about we lost out on a pick that we gave. When we had those picks, we had pick 12, and I think it was like pick 20.
San Fran had pick 12,
like,
so we moved.
Yeah, we had some. It wasn't no. We would have missed out on Parsons.
That now. Okay.
We would have missed out. We would have missed out on a lot of people.
We gave up to, but I'm sorry, I wanted to get back to the Christian Wilkins Zeiler thing. So, if y'all don't mind, y'all look at the screen right here. Zeiler, whatever, however you say it. 941 snaps over here. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Right.
941. And look at his grade for the 4 years. He's been in the league 5 years. Christian's been in 4. But this is the last 4 years, okay? Zach Zeiler averages a PFF grade of 76.
Yeah. And he's considered rotational. He's considered rotational.
No,
he's getting those snaps.
Yep, he's getting starter snaps because 941 snaps versus Christian Wilkins 1,020. That is only 80 more snaps.
Yeah, that's pretty equal.
Only that is pretty much they getting the same work. But Christian Wilkins averages 74.7 in his 4 years. Zach Zeiler actually is 1.3 points higher than Christian Wilkins in 4 years.
And Wilkins gets snaps on special teams that Seiler doesn't.
No, Zyler gets snaps on special
81,
teams too.
75, go back to Seiler. 81, 74, it's the same?
Yeah, same. Punt return 44, both of them.
So
box
just as much
1.
work.
Zach
Only
actually
difference
gets
is the
more
extra
box
points.
work. So it's just the regular game snaps. He got 80 more snaps. And when you think about it, 17 games, 80, 17, he gets almost 5 more snaps a game. 4.7 more snaps a game.
Oh, TD.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. You can finish because you said something earlier about what we can get for Christian Wilkins. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I personally believe Christian Wilkins.
So what does that say about Roquan Davis, TD?
He done.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad somebody else is saying that.
Raekwon is somebody that they can't depend on because of injury.
He needs development, and he's not going to get it here. So, yeah.
I mean, he needs to be on the field.
Yeah. He's too big. His size is. His size should be alone worthy enough to be kept, but he's not showing it at all.
Yeah,
not to
we
me.
wanted him to be our true nose tackle. It's just not working out, man.
No, and I think that's a position they draft this year.
Oh, give me the dude from USC, Thule. Give me Thule from USC.
Hey, with limited draft assets, we'll see.
But that's my whole point. See, the one thing Chris Grier was a master at the last 3 years is creating capital for the future just in case. And you know what I think got Chris Grier off of his game right now? That first round pick we lost from Stephen Ross.
Oh man, killed him.
That has him off of his game.
Yeah.
It has him off his game. Now, whose first round pick was that, by the way? The Dolphins?
49ers.
It was
49ers.
It was no. We traded
the
to 49ers.
49ers. We gave that.
It was ours.
That was our pick. That was our pick.
That wasn't
pick 21. Yeah.
It wasn't. Don't say the Texans.
So it would have been the 21st pick?
It would have been the 21st pick, yeah. I look at mock drafts daily.
Yeah, so
and it says Dolphins forfeit.
Yeah, Chris Grier, he would have had that 21st pick. He would have had next year's picks. I think that threw him off. And that's why he's in this situation right now. Because he doesn't have an asset that he thought he would have. Because I'm gonna be honest, he had that 21st pick. I don't think he would be talking the way he is right now. The Dolphins might still be talking Lamar Jackson right now.
Oh yeah, this year, next year, first.
If he had the 21st pick and they put that tender on him where you got to give up 2 firsts, the Miami Dolphins might have been talking Lamar. Because would you go get Lamar Jackson for 1 first round pick right now, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
It's available.
No.
Who wouldn't go get Lamar Jackson for it? If they said, just give me your 2024 first round pick, would you go get him?
Yeah.
That's the whole point. If they put the tender on him, all you have to do is give up 2 first round picks. And we lost 1. So it's the same thing as giving up the 2. And we lost that. I believe we would have still been in huge talks for Lamar Jackson right now had that pick not been lost. And now Chris Grier probably feels like we just got to do what we got to do. It is what it is.
Yeah,
he's got to play the cards he's got.
That makes sense because with those assets, he was always non-committal to the future, but now you don't have as many assets as you had, so you have nowhere. Your back is against.
And then you gave your other one away up for Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
See, again, we might have not have gotten Bradley Chubb if we didn't lose that first round pick. Because you would have had 2 first round picks this year, plus next year.
Forget probably. We shouldn't have made that trade. That was a fail.
But I don't think we would have if we wouldn't have lost that pick.
We shouldn't have, regardless.
From this perspective, we were going into this season with the most capital, like as far as top 5, like first 5 picks, outside of maybe Seattle and Detroit and Philly. But like we were like gonna be that team like in the offseason, heavily sought out for picks.
We shouldn't have traded for Bradley Chubb.
Somebody said Bradley Chubb was worth it.
Nah,
Oh,
Not
not
yet.
yet about it.
Not
the
yet.
Bradley, I feel
Not
like
at
Bradley
all.
Chubb,
Not at
the Bradley
all.
Chubb
Remember,
trade
when
was
Chubb had his great season, Fangio was his coach.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
but that's what we're
He didn't
Not at
have a
hoping.
all.
great.
We're
He
hoping
didn't
that's
have a
what's
great
going to happen
season.
again.
Nah,
Exactly.
nah.
If you look at Chubb's history, Chubb hasn't really had a complete great season.
I
His
agree.
career
Chubb,
almost mimicked
Chubb's.
Tua's
Let
career.
me tell you something. Chubb is still living off of his rookie season. His rookie year, he had 12 sacks. The next year he had like 1. The next year he had like 6. The year after that he had like 1. The year after that he had 7. The year after that
Can
he's
you
living
pull
off.
his contract up? We need an out, like a clean
No,
out.
no. That's unfair to say you need an out on Bradley
need an
Chubb. We got to see him next year in the Fangio system first.
Yeah.
I know this year he wasn't worth it at all. People like, well, you got to understand his impact. There ain't no impact.
Ain't no
Freaking,
impact.
what's his name? What's his name on the edge? Who was there before him?
Agba?
No.
Or
it was
Ingram?
his first year with us too. Yeah, Ingram was. You see what I mean?
Ingram was instant impact.
Exactly.
Yeah, Ingram was just about the same difference. So
more.
Ingram was beasting in
Ingram was
preseason.
winning.
No, he was more. He had touchdowns. He had
Ingram
sacks.
was
He was
winning
all.
his, like Ingram was creating
He had
real
an
pressure.
impact. He had a
but
true
did you
impact.
notice when they brought Chubb in, Ingram kind of faded away?
Yeah, his numbers went down.
Yeah, but
it was so unnecessary. We had players we gave up on AVG. AVG could have done what Chubb gave us. And we just gonna use our first round pick like there isn't problems elsewhere that we could use. We could have got what's the guy name who was in Indy? No. We could have got Stephon Gilmore for a third. We could have got Roquan Smith for a second. But yet that's why I say what I say about Chubb, because Roquan went for an all-pro player is top 2 at that position. All-pro middle linebacker went for a second round pick.
That's crazy.
Trey Flowers, he never saw more than 3 games.
Melvin Ingram ended the season higher ranked than Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb was 58th at the position, and Melvin was 41st, and Andrew Van Ginkel was 34th.
This is crazy.
This is insanity.
That's why now y'all hear me when I say it's a fail. That was a fail. I ain't gonna say it's a fail. That
Van Ginkel was 31st, 34th?
I'm not mad at Chubb.
Yeah, he was.
I'm mad at Green.
Oh.
But see,
he just didn't get as much playing time.
I'm about to say Van Ginkel's snap count with PFF. If your snap count is low, your grade is gonna be higher if you do a little bit, because it's a percentage based thing.
Well, here's the
34 though.
Here's the deal though. He performed in those 357 snaps.
He made the most.
So he deserved more snaps, not less playing time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He deserved more for sure.
I mean, you could have been trash in the low snaps like Iguavan. You could have been trash with low snaps.
You talk about our preseason superstar?
Yeah, and look, Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips balled out.
That man scored like a touchdown every preseason.
Jalen
Phillips balled out because Chubb was on the other side.
No. Why would it be with Chubb when before Chubb it was better?
He balled out because Agba went down.
That's a good question, Cam. That's a good question, Cam. I guess this is a better way to answer it.
Well, and I say this only because the whole premise of bringing Chubb, in my opinion, was because of the injuries in the secondary and the inability for Boyer to set up his blitz packages, right? So they had to go with a more organic pressure the quarterback with a 4 or 5 man front, which Boyer did never use, right? Because they had Jones and Holland the year before applying all the pressure, Van Ginkel applying the pressure. But they had to fall back in more of a zone coverage because of all the injuries and X's inability to cover anymore. That to me is why Chubb was brought in and why Phillips in his natural progression kind of got better throughout the season.
So I'll do you one better. Phillips played great all season because Chubb came in around week 9, right?
Yeah.
So before Chubb came in, he had some of his best games. 72, 87.5, 85.6, 63 was whatever, but 89.8. So these are, I mean, look at the 380s. versus down here. You see, so he's just been great all season. It had nothing to do with Chubb.
But look at those
Nothing at all.
and how they got more consistent over the last 5 games.
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm saying is he's performed at a high level the whole season.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips has been consistent. Like his win rate.
It wasn't just a Bradley Chubb situation. And,
The only time
let's go to Chubb. Let's
the
go
only
to
time
Bradley
Phillips
Chubb.
didn't show up was when they put him in pass coverage. That was the only time.
And Bradley Chubb was just Bradley Chubb was just a train wreck in Miami.
Man,
look at that last one.
Oh my goodness, man!
Just a train wreck.
Yeah.
Now let's go to week 9. Let's go to week 8 for like Van Ginkel.
Yeah, but Van Ginkel was playing outside more so than Chubb on the inside, or trying to establish the edge.
Hold on, man. Andrew Van Ginkel. No, I mean I get that, but it's still the same position. But when you look for
more consistent than Bradley Chubb.
Yeah,
he was better than Bradley Chubb, but he was the same all season as well.
Yeah, I mean, which never really great.
But that was Chubb in Miami so far.
Never really great. Agreed.
Who else? Melvin Ingram.
Melvin.
And then I'm gonna go to Ogbar and show y'all how he did before he got hurt.
Look how good he came out the gate.
Yeah, but he came out good out the gate. And even Pittsburgh was nice. And this is where hold on.
Cleveland total snaps, right?
He must have got benched right here or something because he only had 16 versus his normal production.
I know he went out with injury.
And then he definitely didn't play well in the second half after Chubb got here. Now
they weren't
Cleveland
using
went crazy.
Sadly.
Now, last one, let me go Emmanuel Ogbah for the first half of the season.
It's about to be.
Oh, see, and this is what I kept telling people. Ogbah, see, people was like, if Ogbah wouldn't hurt, I was like, Ogbah played like absolute trash for the first half of the season.
Yeah, it's a worst performance all season.
But then they say he was hurt since training camp.
Huh?
Then they say he was hurt since training camp. He just wasn't saying nothing about it.
I don't want to hear that. These are starter snaps. I definitely ain't trying to hear it.
Listen,
I mean, starters play hurt.
You're up. You can't mask behind any injury. I don't care.
Everybody.
Y'all give X the excuse that his hamstrings been hurt.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Talk about giving X the excuse. You know
I
he's doing well over here. You don't do that.
TD, I know you've been off X since day one.
Hey, Cam.
I've argued with you enough times about
Hey, Cam. So does that include Tua on Christmas Day when he supposedly was playing with a concussion?
Look at Xavier Howard. Oh my Jesus.
100%. If he was on the field and didn't perform, then that's on him, man. He's on the field to perform. I don't care what injuries you're toting around.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
Is it funny that his best game was against Houston?
We should have got this freaking we should have got the first round pick for him 2 years ago.
We would have had a first round pick for him last year if we would have traded him.
I get fascinated by the talks that everyone is having about the amount of confidence being instilled in this quarterback. But if he doesn't do what he has to do, we're getting rid of him. It's funny how it is in Miami, bro. Like he's gonna be okay. If he gets okay, he's gonna get the max contract. But if he doesn't, he's out of here. It's just there's no middle ground anymore, man.
But isn't that the way it goes? Like if you don't perform, you don't get paid.
Yeah, I get that. But it's just like we've been arguing and fighting for 3 years, trying to hope things work out, and everybody's like, okay, well if he doesn't work out, he's out of here. But it's like, damn, we've been arguing for what then?
The quarterback market has grown out of control.
I got a question. Outside of Lamar Jackson, what quarterback is available? Better than Tua is what I'm looking for.
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's what I said. If we don't get Lamar Jackson, then
is Aaron Rodgers
basically they're all about the same as Tua.
I'm not counting Aaron Rodgers because he doesn't even know if he's coming back to play.
I'm not even counting Aaron. I don't want Aaron Rodgers.
And for that price tag, yeah.
And for what? 2 years, 3 years, maybe tops.
But hold up. Y'all looking at just who y'all think is better. I'm looking at who's more available.
I'm talking about who's available, not who's better. Who's available? I'm looking for.
Aaron
I'm
Rodgers
looking to
played
get
more.
off
Aaron
Tua.
Rodgers played more games than Tua last year.
I
We're
don't mean
getting Cooper
availability
Rush.
as in health wise. I mean
We're getting
available to
Cooper
go
Rush
get.
or Andy Dalton, one of the redheads.
I don't know about Andy Dalton, but
What happened?
I'm good with Cooper.
My bad, y'all.
My question was, what quarterback can we go get? That's already in the league because I think we need to. I think that our best option would be drafting a quarterback and playing Tua until his contract is off, and then throwing that quarterback in. Because I'm not open. Clearly, Skyler needs some more development. Maybe him and whoever we draft can battle that out. But
Skyler could get a lot
that,
better if he had reps.
Nah. He got reps.
I would disagree with you on that, but okay.
I just watched Brock Purdy in person. That's who I wanted besides Tua. So I know
Brock
for a
Purdy
fact that them reps ain't did nothing for that man.
Brock Purdy had a lot more reps.
See, this is where I disagree. This is where I disagree.
Brock Purdy got thrown in.
This is where I have
okay, yes, he got thrown in, but 49ers actually played in practice with their backups. We don't do that.
Then what do we do? What I was told, Skyler looked good. Skyler was out there slinging that thing. He got reps with the third team and the second team.
He would have had a lot more touchdowns if it wasn't for penalties.
You talking about one game?
More than one game.
No.
Even in the last game that he played, we had a lot of penalties that held him back.
Oh.
Didn't have as much, but there was a lot of penalties.
Hold on, my bad.
You got to stick with this because of the salary. You got to stick with Skyler and keep developing him. I think you draft a quarterback every year.
That's what.
I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm saying just draft another quarterback to challenge Skyler one.
Oh no, I would agree.
And then that quarterback got to have some potential. Because if we're off Tua, if you look at
in my eyes, they're all about the same.
If you look at the available quarterbacks right now, or going into next year, they're either on the last rope, on their last leg, bums, or they're top quarterbacks that's about to get the bag themselves. There's no free agent.
I highly doubt this team pays anywhere close to good backup money for anybody, whether it's Bridgewater, or Mariota, or Dalton, or anybody like that, just because they need those assets for other places on the team. They need to allocate that money towards other needs, and they've got Skyler. I think they're comfortable with Skyler and developing Skyler.
I think they are too, but I still think they should draft another quarterback.
Oh, I do too. I think you draft one every damn year. Like who said that?
You should. Every team. Yeah, I mean, you should always draft him.
Every year you draft a quarterback until your QB1 can't beat out that quarterback that got drafted.
I told y'all that's what I would do. Every single year I would draft a quarterback.
You have
to draft 3 quarterbacks all the time. And then even when Martha was here, we used to draft quarterbacks just to have them. I don't understand why we stopped.
See, this is the thing I don't understand though. So we talk about backup. Somebody put in the comment section, bring back Jacoby, right? No, we laugh about it, but Jacoby.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday.
Hold on, we laugh about it, but Jacoby Brissett ended the season with a higher PFF than Tua.
I don't care.
See, we laugh about it. The overall game.
He had a top 10 QBR too.
So, and this is the thing. This is why I don't judge Skyler on this team. This is just the Miami Dolphins, y'all. I mean, our backups go somewhere else and look like they're at least competent.
Yep.
They at least look competent. So it's hard to be always like downing our backups when. And another thing, Skyler and Teddy both had different game plans than Tua. What is this team? When somebody said, "Oh, he got the reps," I think it was
Yo, Cap, I think you got feedback.
Yeah, Cap, you might have some feedback. Skyler didn't get the reps like you think. The whole team is so used to the Tua offense that when a backup got to play, it's like, all right, let's install this new package. Let's just wipe out what we've been doing well and what we practice all the time, and let's install this new package. It ain't just the quarterback; it's the whole team offense.
It's the scheme.
Yeah, that's
the scheme,
going out there
yeah.
implementing a new game plan.
I hear you, TD, but
Because Sky's a different quarterback than Tua.
Off the eye test, it just looked bad. It wasn't the scheme. It was him rolling out. It was him rolling out when he had protection.
Let me ask you this. What did the eye test look like when Armstead first got hurt and Tua was in that Houston game? What did the eye test for Tua look like?
There was no eye test. He had no time.
Do you know who the most pressure quarterback was this this season, where it was the O-line's fault? Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater.
No. Teddy sat in the pocket, got hit. Skylar created a lot of his. He called a hike and just rolled to the right.
Sometimes the play is designed to roll to the right to extend. If you go look at it, Skylar Thompson was the most pressured quarterback in the NFL.
I watched
in his limited time. It ain't just because of him.
I'm not saying it's just because of him. What I'm saying is he didn't help the situation.
Well, why didn't Tua help the situation when in the Houston game when Armstead went out?
He tried. He couldn't.
You don't think
just
Skylar
got sacked
tried?
3 times in a row? No.
You don't think Skylar tried?
No. He resorted to the same thing repeatedly, over and over.
Come on, man.
I seen him step into the Jets game. I seen him step up into the pocket twice.
The first Jets game or the second one?
The second Jets game, I seen him step up into the pocket twice.
Bro, we done.
Other than that,
bro, every quarterback done stepped up into the pocket twice in a game.
No.
You're taking minuscule situations. Skylar Thompson actually in that Jets game threw some amazing dimes, extended plays, and our guys were just dropping them. But still, he made some plays in that game.
Which one? The first one?
The second Jets game where we kept dropping them, dropping the ball.
Oh no, I don't remember that. I remember. That's the
Bro,
Bills.
What do you mean you don't remember?
That's the Bills playoff game. That wasn't the Jets game.
No. It was happening in the Jets game as well. He threw some good passes in that Jets game that were dropped.
Waddle missed 2 of them in that game, didn't he? And Tariq missed 1.
No, that's the Bills game. No.
I know what you're saying with the Bills game. That too.
No, I'm not talking to you, TD, but you talking about some of the drops I ain't seen.
All I'm saying is you can't judge a backup. I don't believe you could judge a backup in Miami.
The Jets game, I feel like Skylar was decent.
I just got a phone call. What's the topic right now?
Well, I thought you got a phone call from Greer finna tell us who Lamar on the way.
Oh no.
Hey man, I want to ask Lance something off the cuff here. Lance, I've been on his show here for an hour and a half, and I've seen you move that wheel once. You got that thing on autopilot? What's going on?
That's crazy.
No, I'm getting unloaded.
Oh,
I left for a little while because I had to drive over here, and I'm getting unloaded now.
Oh, man, right on, man. I'm just worried about your safety. But listen, I got to run. TD, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate
Thanks for coming through, Cameron, man. It was a pleasure, bro. Thank you so much.
Hey, big respect. Good seeing y'all.
Love you, bro.
All right, man.
Oh, boy. Miami Dolphins, man. What are we going to do?
Sit here and cry.
That's pretty much what we do. And it's sad that there's some fans that are just fine. They're not crying. They're not worried about anything. Why? Because at the end of the day, all they care about is seeing one person on the field. Yep. That's all they care about.
And he's just, to me, he's just average. Above average. Let's go with above average.
He's above average, but again, like his limitations, it makes it harder on us to build this team.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It's certain things. Like with Tua, you need to have the perfect offensive line because he's not going to protect us. and you also need weapons that can get open. Either in certain windows, he's gonna fit it in certain windows, or he's not gonna be able to wow you. So it's certain things you just can't do. But if you
Well,
have
that's
a
why I
guy
said
like Lamar Jackson, if you have a
we
guy that can get out of the pocket and extend plays, you don't need all of that.
we need what we need is a dual threat, like me and TD were talking, or like he was saying a triple threat. But the triple threat's hard to find.
Yeah, but
It's hard to find all three of them.
yeah, you're right. But the
At quarterback?
Yeah.
Triple threat.
Describe that for me. You running,
threat.
you throwing,
and your intelligence, your brain processing.
Oh God!
Everybody can throw. You could throw picks all day. I mean, you could throw.
Have we ever seen a triple threat?
Yeah, I mean there are.
Lamar's a triple threat.
I think at this point,
Mahomes is actually a triple threat at this point.
Yeah.
Really, I can say
when y'all
Mahomes.
say run, I'm thinking of a quarterback that's gonna get you over like 500 rushing yards at the least. Like,
no, we're just talking about you have it in your arsenal.
You have it, yeah.
So Aaron
because
Rodgers.
that defense is going to be thinking twice.
So you mean Aaron Rodgers?
When he was
or
mobile,
Patrick Mahomes.
When he was more mobile,
when he was mobile. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And Mahomes could do it if he want to. He could be more of a runner if he want to, but he just chooses not to. He's more selective with it.
I agree. Trevor Lawrence is heading in that direction. He's still got a lot more to
as far as his mobility.
And the way it looks, Trevor Lawrence might see win a playoff game, or he did.
He did already.
Yeah, he already beat. Yeah,
he already won this playoff game.
In my book, he's better than Tua right now.
In thrilling fashion,
no
doubt.
Well, there.
He got to work on his decision making, but I can see where he can say that.
He showed the ability to overcome adversity. All in one game, he overcame adversity. He didn't let the four interceptions get to him.
He did that all in one season.
Yeah, he showed that ability.
How many quarterbacks in the NFL?
That's Peterson.
How many quarterbacks in the NFL are better than Tua?
No, hell no.
9.
If I'm going off
nine between 9 and 11.
Depends on if you say 9 to 11. Are you kidding?
I would say
based on body of work, it would be more like 11. Based on this season, it'd be only 9 or 8.
You can say body of work.
Y'all are ridiculous, man.
If it's body of
work, no. I'm saying based on body of work, he's more like top 15. Based on this year, he's top 7.
I would say 9 to 12. I would say 9 to 12 off potential.
So TD, a lot of people like to muddy the waters when they talking about this year versus body of work. So that's why I separate the two.
Because I'm talking about full body of work. You got to take it all.
Then he's top 15.
Well,
not even that.
See, I think he's like 15 to 20.
He's probably like 20.
I would say top 15 now. He's right. He's right there between the 12 and 15.
Y'all pushing it now.
Body of work. If you talk about every quarterback, all body of work.
Y'all really pushing it now.
Tua is a starting level quarterback.
But this year, he's definitely top 10 as far as his body, his work this year.
Like this year, top 10. But if you think about his second year,
everything included, he's top 15.
He played one season worth of games in 2 seasons.
I feel you, Crypto. I feel you on that part. But y'all saying 20? Like
no, he's better than 20.
It's some bad quarterbacks in this league.
Yeah, it is.
Bro.
There's still some bad ones.
Come on now.
I'm
giving him top 15 because he made enough of a leap to get in the top 15.
He's average.
This
He
year,
is above average to above average.
He did before.
Daniel Jones is not better than Daniel Jones is not better than Tua, but
some people are going to say Daniel Jones is better because of this 1 year, as if he hasn't played 4 or 5 seasons already.
Yeah, but Tua only got this 1 year, and Daniel Jones had more success.
Did he?
To his first year
as an overall
Daniel
for
Jones,
his team?
Did he? As overall?
Time out. Daniel Jones as a rookie was more promising than Tua.
Remember, what's his name? Had like 8 mediocre to bad years, and he had one phenomenal year. That's Geno Smith. Does that one phenomenal year bump him up?
I mean, it helps his overall, but it doesn't. I mean, like it's almost like, say, just hypothetically, right? If Geno Smith was a 23 before this season, after this season, he might have moved himself to 21.
Are you talking about overall moving himself to 21?
Overall, your career so far.
Okay, that's because he had 7 bad years.
That's
because
that's like
this says he has so many bad years on the record.
Everybody points out to the Ravens game.
Tua's only had 3 seasons, so his 28th and 31st ranking or whatever, one good season ain't gonna bump him up 2 spots like Geno would. It'll bump him up to like 21. It'll jump him up 8 or 9 spots.
Yeah, because it's shorter. Because it's shorter time. Yeah, it's a short amount of year. Right, it'll bump him up. Bump him up.
That's why I said around 15 to 20, because he's had 2 years where he's played a season worth of production, and then other quarterbacks have either outperformed him in both of those years as rookie or second year players, or he has starter level players just perform better than him.
I'll do you one better. Let's go ahead. Let's do it.
What about Baker Mayfield? He had a good 2 first years and then had a bad last year.
Baker Mayfield has had a better career than Tua so far.
That's what I'm saying. It's in the other direction. So what's his overall numbers will be like?
A career so far. Yes. Baker had a great season.
Yeah, his rookie year was real good.
Baker had remember, if you want to compare Tua, remember, only one good season, and it wasn't even good.
I think he broke the rookie record until Herbert
talk about a
got him.
QBR. Everybody want to talk about QBR like that's the only thing. That's what made Tua.
And he does have one playoff victory against the Steelers. He has some playoff success.
Anyway, let's go through it. Okay? Let's go through the list.
Crazy.
Let's go through the list.
The same
Hold on. Let's go through the list. Patrick Mahomes.
Nope.
No, I'm just.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
No, what do you mean no?
As far as his ranking bad years.
No. We're ranking. We're putting quarterbacks that are ahead.
Oh yeah. He's ahead.
Oh, you talking about the list? Okay, I got you.
Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Okay.
And this ain't in no order. We just talking better right now.
Oh,
okay. I mean they will be better, but they better right now overall for their career. Okay, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen,
Burrows,
Josh Allen,
Josh Allen. Okay.
Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, clears.
What's his name? Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. See, this was his only bad year when you think about it. That was it.
Dak Prescott.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, we were Trevor Lawrence.
Was Dak drafted in the first round? No, he wasn't drafted in the first round, was he?
Dak was drafted in the 3rd round.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
2nd or 3rd. Yeah.
All right, let's keep it going. Derek Carr.
Yep.
If you come out, and then you have to add Cousins if you're gonna add Carr.
Hold on. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Purdy.
Yes.
No. We talking career.
No. They're talking about just
career. Okay.
We talking about
career.
Body of work overall. Matthew
Ryan
Stafford.
Tannehill.
Matthew Stafford.
Damn, I almost forgot about Stafford. He just won the Super Bowl.
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Is he retiring yet? Matthew Stafford?
No.
Oh my gosh, I gotta let me number these
Ryan
some more, y'all.
Tannehill.
Give me a second.
I don't know about
Give me
Tannehill.
Talking about total body of work. Ooh.
Ryan
Actually, if you're
Tannehill.
gonna add total body of work, then it would have to be Tannehill.
Total
You're
body
talking
of
about
work. This is just total body of work, but yeah, Tannehill.
Okay.
No, you're not talking about just this year. Tua was better this year.
No, clearly.
Andy Dalton ain't in the league no more, is he?
He is. He played for the Saints. Yeah. Well, he a free agent.
but New Orleans. He's a backup.
Andy Dalton.
Weston Wilson.
Huh?
We already said Russ.
Well, yeah, Wilson is already on the list.
Kyler Murray.
No, Weston Wilson from
Who's
Saints.
that?
We already got him.
from the
No,
Saints. No,
not
what?
no.
Not
Jameis
not
Winston?
Oh,
Wilson.
you're talking about Jameis Winston.
Oh no, no,
Jameis
no,
Winston.
no. Oh, wait a minute. How many years he's played?
He got a better career
James
so
Winston play
far.
like 5 to 6 years. He play like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, at least 6 years.
Put him in there.
Put him in there. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's
He was
talk.
drafted
Talking
in
about
2013,
all
so
his
that's
years.
10 years.
Actually,
Jameis
with the Saints, he
Winston,
ain't do too bad with the Saints.
number 20. Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I forgot about Flacco.
Dang. We didn't even say Joe Burrow.
We did say Joe Burrow.
We did. We said him at the beginning.
Oh, we did? Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
How
if you didn't play, if you haven't played more than 2 seasons, I'm not gonna put you on this list.
No, you can't be on the
What?
list.
How
You
long?
gotta,
How long
you gotta
has
pay at least 3 or more.
Daniels?
You gotta pay. You gotta pay the same amount of seasons as Tua
Jared
or better.
Jared Goff.
Oh, yeah.
Golf.
How about
Yeah.
how long has Daniels played from the
Hold on.
Giants?
He played in 5
He's
years.
played long enough. Matt Ryan,
Matt Ryan. Oh yeah, Matt is on there.
Dang, I forgot about Matt Ryan.
Cam Newton.
So you
I
might
know
as
he
well
ain't
say Carson
retired, but
Wentz,
no.
Yeah, Matt
We
Ryan
already
should
got
have won
Lamar
a Super
Jackson.
Bowl. I don't care what y'all say. Matt Ryan should
Daniel
have won a
Jones
Super
is
Bowl.
Daniel Jones is where we start to get to the debates, you know.
Right. Right.
And I'm gonna leave him off if it's debatable. I don't want debatables.
Yeah,
Right. You can leave Daniel Jones off. He's not.
Yeah.
Already did
Y'all-
Rodgers. Already did Watson.
If you're going on careers, I got no debate in this. I think we all agree that these quarterbacks have better careers so far.
Right. So far.
And I know his is shorter, but you got
So that
people
put
on
him-
here just as short and less.
Yeah. Some. Yeah.
So let's just stop right here because everything else would be a debate. Okay.
So
Do
he's
y'all
like
know?
30th?
Do y'all know? And let's say that we
No,
name two.
that would put him right at 15 almost.
Nope. You want to know where 2 is?
22nd.
No, gotta be like 17.
Tua Tagovailoa is 23.
I was right there.
23.
I believe it. If you're
Wait,
going off
career-wise, TD?
Yes.
Career-wise.
Wow, I see.
Because a lot of those
What
things-
would I get those 8 quarterbacks?
That's taking out all the debate.
Oh, I got you.
That's what I was in debate. That's what I was. I don't think none of us was debating that. I think we were debating where is he right now versus everybody in the league. I don't think we were
this
debating.
is where it gets. This is where it gets
career.
skewed. We
It
always
gets
wanna
dicey.
talk-
It gets a little dicey, Rashad, because
we
Kyler Murray
always
could be
want-
getting a. I'm sorry, my bad.
Let me tell you why you can never go off of what you are right now when you talk about comparing. Everybody has those up or down seasons. Listen, you like that's like saying Geno is the new top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Let's go ahead and sign him on a long-term deal. He is what he is, but we don't do that.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying right now, as in the past season. You take in their career.
But that's what he's.
what
He's saying.
I know. You
Smith
take,
also had a good season.
if you're offering, if this is contract talks, you use their career as a measuring stick. You don't go off the last season.
Yeah,
you don't go. You don't look at. You don't look at Tua. If you go off Tua's career, Tua's getting a $12 million, $15 million offer for a extended contract. If you're going off. If you're going off just last year, he's getting a $35 million contract.
No, he's not. If you're going off last year, he's probably just going to get the 5th-year option because he still has not completed yet a full season of production.
Yeah, yes, but listen to what I'm saying. You're just not going off of 1 year. You're going off a career when you're offering a contract. I'm just clearly saying who's better based off of last season, because I can't say Matt Ryan is better than Tua right now. I can't say Carson Wentz is better than Tua right now. But you can put Carson Wentz on that list and bump Tua to 24.
And I get that.
But you're not going to do that going into next season. You're not going to say I'm taking Carson Wentz over Tua.
And I get that. But what I'm saying to you is this is my issue with trying to compare them. I could say Nick Foles is better than Tua Tagovailoa because of the one season he had when he went to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, he's had multiple seasons like that, but he won the Super Bowl.
But he also had a 27-12 season. He also had a 27-12 season.
Yeah, Nick Foles has got the bag twice because the seasons like that.
So I could say he's better though. This is all I'm
You can
saying.
say Blake Bortles.
I don't
Tua will
like
be 35th at the end of this conversation.
the problem is people are so sold on recency bias because it only applies for Tua. See, they're sold on it because of him. I mean, we're talking, and then even when you look at the season he had, we all can point to 3 games where he was phenomenal. Outside of that, you can't. 3 games,
Those 3 games absolutely made the season.
4. Let's say 4. Let's add Baltimore,
okay,
even though he
because
played
the
like
Baltimore
trash in the
game.
first half.
And how many games did he cost us?
Well, when I did that chart, it was 3 that he technically cost
Every
us
game
himself.
we lost because he was
Solely.
hurt. It's cost. He cost.
No,
Right,
it
but I'm
wasn't
saying
because he was
I'm
hurt.
counting
I
the
count them
games
all.
he
Well, I
got
see what you're
hurt
saying.
and the
I count
games
them
he
all
cost.
because our quarterback performance drastically
So
went down.
basically,
Besides
he
that,
cost us more games than he's won us games.
So him
Yeah,
not being
this
there
is
is what you're
this is
saying.
how this is how Dolphin
yeah,
this is how Dolphin
100%.
fans this is how Dolphin fans do it. This is what's frustrating. It's like you throw one pass today and it's incomplete. You throw one pass tomorrow, it's incomplete. You throw one pass the next day, it's incomplete. The next day is incomplete. Now you're 0 for 4. Okay, you're literally 0 for 4. And then you come out there and you go 16 for 16 in the 5th week. 16 for 16 in the 5th week. And we 80% completion on the season, and we want to think that this is an 80% quarterback. That's what we do. You can miss 9 times, but as long as that time you hit and it get that percentage way back up, that's how Dolphin fans are when it comes to Tua.
In that analogy, TD, I would say it's kind of reversed because I felt like Tua was average, and then he had those big games, and then it was those few bad games. Because, like you said, I think y'all just said y'all count 3 losses on him, and then he played like 13 games.
No. Well, no, 3 sole losses. There were some losses where he contributed, but sole by himself. He's the reason we lost. 3 losses. But what I'm saying to you is, even in the game, see, this is the thing. Tua had like 5 average games. He had like 5 or 6 just average games. He had 3 phenomenal. Well, no, he had like 4 average games. He had like 4.
He had 1 terrible game against Pitt.
4 phenomenal games. He had 3 terrible games, and then he had below average games, like 2 of them. But all we seem to care about, and this is what I'm saying to you, that Lions game, that Ravens game, he threw the ball more than any other game. The Ravens game, 6 touchdowns. Do you know that he could have went 2 more games with no touchdowns, but he still would have averaged 2 per game? You see how that carries you?
Yeah.
Do you see how that carries numbers? I can literally have a Baltimore game. Well, I can have a Baltimore game and then have 2 trash games, and my numbers still look good.
That's why I was saying split the season. Yeah. What did Tua do in the first 9 games compared to the last 9?
Well, the first 9 games, you got to add more games because he was injured for 3 games in between.
It still doesn't matter. It is what it is.
In the first game, in the first half,
So
he missed 2.5 games.
Are you saying his first 9 games played?
Yeah, his first 9 games compared to his last. Because let's.
He's probably like 8-1. I think he's probably 8-1.
Let's say it, because the last 9 is what you're looking at. What you should be looking at, because the first 9 don't mean
8
is good.
The last 8,
last 8, whatever.
Yeah, it was terrible, and then he couldn't finish. So that's the point.
I'm gonna pull it.
He only missed 2 in each halves. If I remember right. 2 in the last one.
So Cincy, and then what was the other game?
No, he lost at least 3.
The Jets.
The Jets. Okay.
The 49ers.
All right, the last 9 games start. The last 9 games start in week 10, and let me pull it up for you. This is week 10 moving forward. This is what he did. This is what he did. The 91 from the Cleveland game, and then it just started going downhill. 71, 63, 49, 49, 54.
That should be your answer.
That would be. Well, he missed the last 3 games against the division opponents.
Well, 2 games. We're not
like I
counting
said,
the playoffs. Week 17 and 18, he missed, but that's a part of the 9 games. And week 11, I believe, was the bye, or he missed. I don't know. I believe it was the bye. But this is
The
6
bye-
of
the
the
bye was
he
right before
played.
No, TD, we had to buy after Houston, before the Houston.
Yeah, so
That's
but
what-
this
that's
is
what he's
the
saying. That's week 11.
this was the back end of the 9.
Now, what was his first 9?
8-3. Well, no, it'd be 8-1 or 8-2. Well, first 9. Well, he didn't play in 2 of the games, so he was like 7-1.
No, he was solid, but still, regardless. I mean, he played in 7 of them.
Oh, you talking about his record? I thought you were talking about his record. He was 7-1 in the first.
He flaked out in Pittsburgh and New England. Other than that, that's the kind of quarterback you want. This
So
is
he
what
just
you want in your
He can't
quarterback.
finish the season, even if he's
Well,
not hurt.
he's
That's why I
never
say
been
the
able to
last
finish
10
the
is
season.
important to decide whether he's going to be a franchise guy or not.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, he gets worse as
So we got 2. So
the
TD, you
year
think they're
goes
going to
on.
give him 2 more seasons of 12 games played each season?
Oh, yeah, they're going to screw it up. Let's go back to last year. Can't finish the season. The back end of the season.
And the back end of the season.
Well, that means Tua needs to start concentrating on missing those games early in the season
This is
so he
the
can play
back
the rest
end of
of
the
the season.
season.
Or get hurt in the middle.
2 out of 8 good games. 2 out of 8, y'all. 2 out of 8.
On the last 8 games, yeah. And that was what, Detroit, the Bears, women, and what games is that?
Baltimore, Jets, Carolina, Giants, Jets. And this is
Wait a minute, which year is this? Oh, this is last year.
I'm giving you end of seasons. How is he ending season?
Oh, the end of that. Okay, and that was in Flores' year too.
Yeah, this is the year before.
Oh, okay, I see.
Back end of the season.
Back end of the season. After the Denver game, because he got taken out in that game, TD.
He was perennially average. Well, yeah, we know he got taken out in that one. He also got taken out in the Las Vegas one.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick came in.
Literally got benched in 2 games.
For 2 of those games.
Kansas City Chiefs game is just the biggest disappointment ever to me. Everybody, but Tua was cooking. He had 4 touchdowns. Man, we got 5 turnovers and lost.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of turnovers in that game. Our defense played pretty good. We had a lot of turnovers in that game. Mahomes I think that was the most turnovers he had in a game in a while.
That was the first time in his
A
career.
freaking defense get 5 turnovers and you lose. Offense is the problem. Period.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look, 83 snaps in that game.
I think
just like that bad Buffalo game, 83.
Hey, TD, I think everybody also missed that we were actually up by 10 points. So that's a double-digit lead we had in that game that we blew.
And he was throwing picks.
Yeah.
He was turning them over too.
Yeah.
Well, there was 2 games this year that we were up by 2 points.
Yeah. Kills me, man.
Yeah, we had some. We had some leads in that game.
He's really never been able to finish the season strong. But that's
finish. That's why I concentrated. I said if you could finish the last 10 games consistent play, then you could probably start asking for extensions and 5th-year options and all that.
Yeah,
you can't just blindly give it to him.
He got to skip it this year because he got hurt.
I said he takes the next step by finishing the season. That's a step in a different direction.
There's that hope. We all hope. We all hope.
Right on time. Greenwood Slim said the goal is Super Bowl. I want a QB we can win the Super Bowl with, not a spite and not a spite of. Excuse me, that's me.
In spite of
The fact it's a debate in year 4 says enough. That's how I feel. But some people say it shouldn't be a debate. It's just people hating on him and X, Y, and Z. No, your general manager and coach even said we don't know. There are concerns. That's enough.
TD, TD, I got a question. Do you think that from a complete teardown to a rebuild to Super Bowl contenders, should it be taking more than 5 years? Given the sample sizes we've gotten with recent teams, been able to do their complete rebuilds a lot faster.
No, Harry Roseman took.
We've been rebuilding for 20 some odd years.
I gotta be honest.
40 years.
I gotta be honest. I have to be honest. The worst case scenario, actually is the official 5 years. That's the longest you want to go on a rebuild, because sometimes you could get stuck needing to get off of the bad contracts. Get like 2. You can deal with 2 years of just trying to start your rebuild. Look at Houston.
Yeah, they're starting.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
God
is,
forbid if Houston
they had to go through 2
wins
seasons.
the playoff game.
They had to go through 2 seasons just so they could start it. They knew they weren't going to win the last 2 seasons.
But CD, last year you could technically say was officially their rebuild because they got rid of their franchise quarterback. So if they make a playoff game and win, they have already passed us.
No, it's not just the quarterback. It's not just the quarterback either. And they weren't building what they were doing.
Now they start getting rid of people.
But that happens before the actual rebuild. You have to get rid of the old before you start. It's like, okay, let's just use it in practical terms. You go to an abandoned house that is no good anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to rebuild the house, right?
Yeah.
But what's the first thing you got to do?
You got to clean it out, gut it out.
No,
but you can do that in one day with the wrecking ball, TD.
Hold on. The foundation is bad and all.
You got to make sure the foundation is straight.
It ain't good. No. Hold on. You follow me here. The foundation is trash. You literally have to tear that whole house down, rip the foundation up, right? Now watch this. No company, no demolition company is available for a year and a half.
Okay, so you wait a year and a half. So you're saying you got to do it manually? Are you saying you got to go out and manually start gutting it out?
No. So you can't do it. Let's just put it like that. So in football terms, what that is we got rid of our quarterback, but we still got all these bad contracts that we're stuck with for another year.
Yeah, I got you.
You see?
I got you. Remember,
you can't start the rebuild until you get rid of all of that.
Yeah, until it's complete. Until the demolition job is complete.
Thank you. And on top of that, the previous owner of this raggedy place, they put all this money trying to fix it up and didn't even know the foundation was no good.
Yep.
So in other words, they went and gave all that money in capital for Laramie Tunsil, and the foundation was no good. So now you literally have to wait for contracts like Laramie Tunsil's to expire and stuff before you can actually start rebuilding.
Yep.
So that's why I say it ain't just.
But what happens when you start putting key pieces and start laying good foundation and bricks and stuff?
But that's what they're going to start this year. They're going to. This is now the house has been demolished. Now they have officially finally demolished the house. It may have taken them 2-3 years, but they've officially demolished the house.
Yeah.
It's clear, just a vacant lot. Now they can go ahead and pour the foundation and start building the new house. But what I'm saying to you is, depending on how bad the situation is, it's not just a 1-year situation getting rid of everybody. Everybody you can't get rid of because a lot of bad contracts. Nobody want to pick them up and you got too much dead cap.
Yeah.
So
but we was able to do it in record time as far as at least the teardown process.
But we were only able to do it in record time because everybody was at the end of their contract, with the exception of everybody was at the end of their contract when we decided we wanted a new house. Tannehill's contract wasn't that big at the time. We traded him to Tennessee, paid part of it. Laramie Tunsil actually got us all kind of stuff back, and we avoided even giving him one. Rashad Jones and all of these guys were done in the league. We had already reached it. The whole O-line's contracts were up. All of those guys, the good line that we put together, we were fortunate. The only holdovers we had were guys at the beginning of their career, but they were already young. Xavier Howards. You see what I'm saying?
I got a question.
Mike
Yeah.
Gesicki's.
How can we trade Armstead?
That would be crazy.
You could trade.
No, hold on. Let me finish. Are we able to trade Armstead, or is it a lock contract?
No, you can. No, I don't see him having.
I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think he's got a guarantee. Yeah, I don't think he's
Because
guaranteed.
I'm thinking, as far as the future, because he's going to be with us for what? Maybe another year, 2 at the most.
Yeah. The problem with Armstead this year, he holds a $21 million cap hit.
Yeah. See, because I was thinking about trading him or finding someone that would get him, and then we go after Lamar. What's his name? Lamar from Tennessee. Younger.
Lamar. Oh,
I don't know how to pronounce his name. The guy from Tennessee, the left tackle.
Oh, Tyler Lewan.
Yeah, him.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you can't get out of Teron Armstead. He got a $21 million cap hit for a guy who ain't going to play. It's not likely to play 17 games. $21 million cap hit.
Damn, that's big.
He getting $9 million just from being on the roster this year.
But again, I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade an older player for another older player that's considered.
Well,
if it's a lower contract, if it's not going to put you in a bad contract,
it'll give you cap relief. But the problem is, it doesn't give you that much cap relief because here's the issue: the guaranteed money you're still on the hook for.
Yeah,
you got Teron Armstead got $43 million total guarantees and $30 million in guaranteed at signing. And here's the issue: you wanted to save money last year with Teron Armstead. So you pushed a lot of his money for the future. You literally only took a $4 million cap hit last year. Now you got to deal with 21. And if you restructure that again, then you're locking yourself in for 21 next year. You're pushing the can down the road.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's who they were talking about.
Well, that case, CD.
Maybe they could talk him into playing right tackle. Maybe they could talk him into playing right tackle.
Yesterday, there was a report that came out.
No, not Armstead, the other guy.
Oh.
So does that mean that if we're unsuccessful within a year, which will be year 5 of the total rebuild, and the year after, that means that we're in so many bad contracts that we can't start our rebuild until year 7?
Yeah, well, who, us?
Yeah.
If we wanted to start a new rebuild,
right,
we can't start it until 2025.
Right, which will be 7 years from the last attempted rebuild.
Yes.
But that's why I want
that's what I'm saying. Then we're screwed if we don't win in the next 2 years.
Yeah,
a Super Bowl.
Tyreek, Armstead, and all of those guys' contracts, you can't get out of them until after the 2024 season.
So do you think it's fair? Do you think it's smart for them to go ahead and start scouting that quarterback?
Say that again.
You think it'd be smart for them to scout a quarterback in this upcoming draft class, the 24 class? It's going to be pretty deep.
2025.
No,
yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, they're definitely doing that because they have to. Right now, they got to scout all those quarterbacks because just in case Tua don't work this year, they got to go get one next year.
Yeah. And then maybe we start a new rebuild after those contracts reset.
And another thing, the NFL has been blessed for 3 years, the teams. And if you didn't get in on these 3 years, you screwed up. It's just like, COVID, right? The last 3 years was a window of unnatural things.
Right.
And what was unnatural with the NFL? You will never have this amount of quarterbacks available as you've had in the last 3 years. First of all, what Watson did was rare. Franchise quarterbacks, they don't let them get away. Lamar Jackson, we still got to see what happens with that, but that could be an issue. And Kirk Cousins available at any time with the right deal. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, the Jimmy G's of the world, the Bakers. I mean, it's so many quarterbacks, but a lot of them are either older, a lot of them big question marks, like the Bakers of the world that you don't believe will be your franchise anyway. Then you got the Cars that's on another level, but at the same token, they've never won. Cousins on another level, but never won. So, but when you got guys like Lamar, when you got a chance, I don't care nothing about this roster right now. You go see, the thing that I've been preaching for the longest is you go get Lamar Jackson. It don't matter what your roster is. Now you start building around a guy that you're going to secure for at least 10 years. Start building around a guy you're going to secure for 10 years. See, the problem I have is if we didn't get any free agents this offseason and we got rid of all our draft picks, if you inserted Lamar Jackson, and of course, just like Tua, you got to be healthy. But let's say both of them were healthy. What would the Dolphins do with Tua healthy versus Lamar healthy? And in the discussion. Because if the goal is the Super Bowl and one is going to get you one step further, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's a probability game. Always.
Yeah,
What's the most probable?
3 more games this year at least.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, Baltimore was always in first place by the time he had his injuries. They was always at the top of the conference before he even starts sitting out.
Lamar's getting hurt. Lamar's getting hurt because he's trying to lift his team in different ways. I don't think he gets hurt in this offense because he wouldn't have to do much of the lifting.
He wouldn't be under pressure as much. He wouldn't
his usage ratio wouldn't be high.
Much.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be as high. It will be high, but it won't be that high like it is.
And they won't blitz him as much because of the threat of breaking loose.
Right.
You blitz Lamar, you as good as damn.
It's tough, man. I just personally know that with Lamar, we ain't losing that Chargers game.
Oh, no.
We lost 23-17, barely lost. With Lamar, we ain't losing that Buffalo game, 32-29. We definitely ain't losing that Green Bay game, 26-20. Because you ain't going to sit there and have him throwing the ball
TD,
that
can you
much.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're not sitting there having him throw the ball that much. He's going to be using his legs, skirting up and down the field.
TD, you know what makes it worse? People continue to say, if we just continue to build, we're going to beat, we can go really far. And I agree with that. But we just saw Patrick Mahomes beat the stacked 49ers, 40-20 this last year. And he just beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And so when we say stuff like we want a dynamic quarterback like a Lamar who can pretty much, we've seen him win games on his own. And we know the Ravens don't really, outside of the tight end, don't really use that much assets on their team. That's what we mean. Because if Tua does get into a match and it's McDaniel and Tua versus Reed and Mahomes, guess who we're taking most often than not? And I'm not taking off of our homer glasses. Like, let's be honest. So when we say things like we want a Lamar Jackson, people think it's just we're trying to throw away Tua, but it's like you have to understand the level of competition in the AFC now. And I don't even know if we could beat the Bengals with the current guys that we have, let alone the Chiefs.
Think about it like this. Doesn't Lamar's ability to do a lot of things make it easier for do y'all think if we have Lamar Jackson, the play calling issues, the time clock issues is not a thing this year?
Yeah, of
play calling
course.
could be easier.
And then look at this. Daniel Oyefusi tweeted out, Greer said the team wants to continue to add depth and competition. Praised the depth of some young guys and said he hopes for better. Hey, somebody got an echo. He hopes for better health so guys like Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg can keep developing. guys like Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg can keep
He is
developing.
gonna live and die by them draft picks.
Right.
He gonna live and die by them draft picks.
That's a lot of pride, TD.
I saw that tweet yesterday, and I was hoping TD didn't see that.
Oh my God.
Well, at least we know Noah Iguanagami has got a guaranteed spot on the roster with that philosophy.
It's ridiculous.
We at least Noah's happy. He's think he's safe because he know Gray ain't giving up no draft picks.
Listen, man. Fellas, we gonna pick up where we left off later, man. I'm about to end this when Greer done pissed me off. But no, in all seriousness, I gotta roll, man. I done hit the two hour. I'm over my 2 hour mark, man. We're gonna pick up this conversation later. I appreciate everybody who came on the panel. Thank y'all for rocking with us today. Y'all hit that like button on your way out. Fins up no matter what. It's your boy TD PHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Peace. I am out. Gotta roll, y'all.
All right, TD. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you guys.
All
right, Lance. You be safe.
All right,
All right, Lance.
All right, Cedric.
All right, Cedric.